Tamir, Search for Uhuru. Thank you so much for joining us. As we always do before we get started, we just want to thank you all for the support. It really means a lot. Again, we want to thank you all for the support. Also, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Again, go to dynastymir.com. While you're there, pick up some merchandise. There's almost 84,000 of you. In fact, we're at 84,000 subscribers, I think, or we're close to it. So we are almost at 84,000 subscribers. So 84,000 products need to be sold. So guys, go to dynastymir.com and get your products. Also, make sure when you go to dynastymir.com, you subscribe to the email list so you guys can stay up to date in regards to what's going on with Dynasty Mir, the brand. Tour, April 21st through the 30th. Again, April 21st through the 30th, we are going to Sierra Leone. Come and join us in Sierra Leone, April 21st to the 30th. Again, April 21st to the 30th, we are going to Sierra Leone, everybody. So come and join us. Africa, I hope you hit that like button as you came into the chat room on the stream. Hit that like button. 30th, again, April 21st to the 30th.
Oops, sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Let's see what else. Patreon, guys, become a monthly Patreon. Patreon.com, search for Uhuru. Again, patreon.com, search for Uhuru. We really appreciate your guys' support. So please go and donate. Again, all I'm asking for is you guys share the content, like, subscribe, Patreon, do something, you guys, so we get the word out there. Without further ado, we have our special guest on with us today. Brother Kala Genesis, aka Kala Thanos, is on with us today. And today's topic, and Kala brought up a point because I was wondering where in what direction he was going to go with this. Every 4 years, we about to be enslaved again. Oh, this party's the Republicans going to have us picking cotton again. They're going to put us back in slavery. Every 4 years, we get this disclaimer and these scare tactics. So what's the point of celebrating Juneteenth, if every 4 years we're going to be back in chains and Kyle's going to be picking cotton, and me and Kyle are going to be picking cotton, in the fields, picking cotton. So what's the point, again, of celebrating Juneteenth? We on the verge of going back into slavery. We know. Someone else was telling me today, I guess, and Kyle, I think you'll do a better job packaging this. So technically, like, we're still considered a 3/5 human here in America. Is that true? Or did they officially?
Well, it's what it says. You have to how the brilliance of the founding fathers, right? They have people always say, "Oh, they were victims of the time." They knew exactly what they were doing. These guys knew history. They knew the implication of having a slave race based on race and everything. But what? All their skills. Now, if the person with a low IQ would have wrote the Constitution, they would have specified black this, black that. Now, in the state government's constitutions, like Texas and everything, they did say the word Negro and everything. But the word Negro and African are not conveniently not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. They said slaves. That's up for interpretation. And all other persons. So they could say down the road, 500 years from now, well, how do you know they weren't talking about black people being the persons, and the white people were the other persons? How do you know that they were talking about that? Well, then again, you say, well, that was a loophole, right? So the South took that as the slaves' vote was 3/5 of a person. What that really meant was that instead of having for the electoral college, right? Instead of African or black person being counted as a full human being, as 3/5 of a human being. In other words, basically, the South wanted to count their slaves as part of the population. As far as like the electoral college and stuff like that, and Senate and congressional seats. So they said there was a compromise to say, okay, it'll be 3/5 of a person. It did not mean that specifically African Americans were 3/5 of a human being. That's people use that like that, but that was just basically because we had a slave status. Now, the Native Americans at the time didn't have any sort of thing. Their population wasn't counted at all. They weren't mentioned because black people were the bond. This is very important. They were the property and the bond of white people at the time. That was pretty common. Remember something: when you are an indentured servant, right? Your bond. Whoever holds your bond, that's your owner, whatever, until it's paid. You are a prisoner, sentenced to prison. You are a property of the state. You know, so therefore, the slave was a property, was private property, not state property, of individual uh, property owners and everything like that. Then some states said, well, we can't have people being permanently things. So slavery began dying out on the eastern part of the United States as more and more black people became emancipated, right? This is what led to the status conundrum in Black America. In America, you had free blacks, but they had no status, right? They weren't bonded in slavery, right? So they weren't counted 3/5 of a person, nor did they have citizenship status as a white person. They were denied citizenship because the what was not said was citizenship and enfranchisement would pertain to only Caucasian males, white Caucasian males. But they never said that in the Constitution. It was just what appears or what was implied, what became in fact. So the argument that black people 3/5. So stop. In other words, basically, stop walking around like you're 3/5 of a person, feeling sorry for yourself. You know, it was just a status correction and stuff like that that happened back then. And then after,
Oh, he said status correction. I'm a Mo.
oh no,
Is that the Mo's? The
but
Mo's?
but
Did they cause that? The Mo's?
See, the Mo's, what they do is say, "Oh, I got to correct myself." No, it doesn't matter. You don't have the power. Status correction means power. You don't have the power to correct status as far as like changing what you are. You can't just say, "I'm a Moor now." You're
I'm a
black.
Mo.
I'm a black. You're black. Your ancestors came from West Africa. That's what you are. That's
No.
not,
Hold on, Kyle, I gotta correct you. Me, Ya Bay L, Dinus Bay L, Blackfoot. Me, Dinus Bay L, Blackfoot. I am from Turtle Island. I am from Turtle Island, and we are the original Olmecs, the Moles.
yeah.
So me, Dinus L. Bay, Blackfoot, from the Blackfoot Olmec tribe in Turtle Island, we are the Moles.
You know something, Dinus? I would love to have somebody who believes in the Olmecs call in and debate me. You know, if you really believe that you were Olmec or your ancestors were already here in America, don't type in the chat, call in, you know, and I want to have this debate, you know, and see how long you last. You know, they won't do it. But anyway, when we say Juneteenth, right?
Right.
Juneteenth and slavery, it was just a day of the Emancipation Proclamation, you know? Slavery didn't end until well after the Civil War. There was pockets of Louisiana and parts of Texas who didn't recognize the United States government, and people still held their slaves until Union troops came down there and actually physically pried them out of their hands. That's how deep this thing really ran, you know. So basically, people like now say, "Okay, I want Juneteenth." I mean, all this feel good stuff. I remember when Martin Luther King's birthday was become a federal holiday. Remember that Reagan vetoed.
No, I was a little kid.
Oh, he was just a kid, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thought that was going to be the day of jubilation, you know. And racism got worse, right? Yeah, it got worse. We thought that sanctions on South Africa, right? Wow, that's going to be it, right? You know, day of jubilation, you know.
Or even Obama. Obama's in office.
Oh, that was and I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Oh, we all are. We all are.
You know what I'm saying? I was out there hoping change. I was, that was before social media. And when social media exposed how, as much as I did social media all the time, right? It exposed how much I goddamn didn't know. I thought I had all the books. I knew everything. Social media put me on to books that I never heard of. You know, I would never heard of a lot of books that I read over the last 15 years. It was social media. So social media is a good thing if you are going to the direction. Don't believe anything you see on these YouTube channels and shit like that. If somebody got a good book, a good author, because all the knowledge in the world are in the books. See, we choose to be slaves, right? And we do everything we can to justify being a slave class in America. You know, we sabotage ourselves. You know, we sabotage the Garvey movement. Oh, Colin, how dare you say that? You know, the FBI did Hoover. But no, Garvey, let's just put it like this. Garvey was sabotaged by Negroes who didn't want to part ways with the white man. The white man gave a wink and a nod, said, yeah, you know that integration stuff y'all been dreaming about? That might be a possibility. That's all it took. And guess what? Garvey had to go. You know, the white man gave you a wink and nod about integration and all stuff like that, being American. And to be honest with ourselves, let's be honest with ourselves, right? If you're born into a country, you're watching all the stuff. What you do is you ignore all the lynchings and stuff that's going on, right? And you say, okay, well, you know, those white folks were nice to me and everything. I want my kid to go to that white school over there. You ever hear that? Right? I want that kid. Black people had every opportunity in the South, right, to build the white segregation. We'll give you all the money you want. No, we want to go to school with white kids. Basically, the white people took their kids out and put them in private school. Right. Basically, the whole thing is there's black people, right, who think that the nearer we come to white people, near as I got to thee, whatever, the nearer we come to white people, the more liberation we are. Right. It has to take white people, like you got people going around beating up white people in public talking about Black Lives Matter, right? White people like, sit down, I'm just trying to eat my steak and whatnot. And you got
right.
These big black women knocking people upside the head, drinking their drink when I talk about Black Lives Matter. So in other words, we always have to need natives were not dark. The natives were red. They called natives red man because of a reason. They were red. You know what I'm saying? They did not have
Colin. No, Colin. See, when Christopher Columbus came to America, he saw you.
Africans, yeah.
He saw you. When he came to America, he saw you.
He saw me, somebody black, you know.
He saw you.
You know, the bottom line, no, he did not. He saw long hair. You can go to parts of Canada where the Eskimos are, all the way down to Argentina, and the indigenous people that were original of this hemisphere are still there, untouched by European or African blood. No, you are not originally from here. Your DNA is from Africa. Not only Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. None of you guys are North Africans. You're not Moors. You're not from Egypt. You're not from Kemet. You're not from any of these things like that. You are from south of the Sahara. Deal with it. And when you deal with what you are, you know what I'm saying? When you deal with what you are, then you'll be able to get someplace. On one hand, we were never slaves. Slavery I heard so many times slavery was a hoax. Prove to me, show me a slave ship. Well, how did the white people get here? Prove to me where the white people, yeah, I thought so. The bottom line is this. We as black people, like I said, and have to basically grow up. Grow up. Stop being freaking children. Stop being self-hating and just own up to what we did. We got our ass kicked. America kicked our freaking ass. White America kicked our ass. Nobody gave a damn about us. No one gave us anything, and nobody is going to ever give us anything. That's the truth. And so when you realize that, right?
No. Hold on, Carla. See, I'm gonna go to the UN and show my indigenous ID card because I'm a Mo, and the UN is gonna force Donald Trump to give America back to us Mo's.
Oh, well, let me read some comments, right? Somebody named Andromeda says, I've driven across Canada. No, you haven't. And I'll say, you can go to Canada and right now and see the indigenous people all drunk, living on the outskirts of town and whatnot. You know, I'm from upstate New York and whatnot. You know, I've seen what real indigenous people look like. You know, high cheekbones, long bone, straight hair. Indigenous people of this continent do not have nappy, kinky hair. You know, and so no, they don't have weave. They have the indigenous people's hair is longer than Europeans. Their hair goes all the way down like that. And so where's Colin packing his bags and go to bed? So shut up. You know, I don't have to give you a date. When I go to the continent, I'll go to the continent. I'll go a few times. I'll go I'll visit. I'll make plans and everything like that. But that's my thing. You know, that's an end game for me. You know, so the bottom line is I'm just trying to tell you, comfortable Negroes, you know, you comfortable Negroes in America, right? You only got two choices. Either you just say, you know something, despite everything in America, we got our ass kicked, but I think I'm comfortable here and leave it alone. That's it. My ancestors were slaves. I didn't have the courage to avenge them. We didn't build anything that was worth taking, but this is what I am. But what you cannot do is this. You can leave. You can say, look, I'm giving up my U.S. citizenship, right? Or I'm going to be expatriate. I saw this video the other day, Diane, with his sister, right? She was like in her mid-50s. She's retired. And she was living in Mexico. She said her retirement is only $1,100. And she lives in Mexico, right? She said, oh, I love it here. And they was talking about people who have on a budget how you can live overseas. They're talking about all these countries, Guatemala, Costa Rica, and stuff like that. A lot of black people retiring overseas. But the whole thing, we haven't not yet put Africa on the map because what I'm hearing is people are going to places and they're getting overcharged and everything. So we haven't made Africa hasn't been retirement friendly to a lot of African Americans. So we hope to change that in the future. But the whole thing is this, though: if in the future, retiring in America is going to be difficult unless you got some Cadillac 401k plan, annuities, and all kinds of investments and everything. What you pay on basics in America is going to eat what you have up. So you may consider Africa as an option, when you retire. With this one lady I watched a video to, she said she makes $1,100, right, and she lives good in Mexico. She got a thing. So basically, that's what you have in America. We have you have options. If you don't like it here, look at other countries to move to. Move to the continent. You got Ghana. You have South Africa and everything within your budget. Go ahead and move, right? And then basically leave America behind. What I hate seeing is people who say they left America, but they're all up America's ass in America's business. Like, dude, you're on the continent. Leave it alone. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares what you say. You live your life. Show us what you got going on over there. No, I can't go out. I ain't got no food. I'm sitting over here. My lights out over here. And you did a poor planning. And yeah, man. What I think about the Congressional Black Caucus, who cares? I always thought that once you say you're going to leave the United States, that's it. You leave this behind and you start on something new. But many of you leave and your mind is still in America. Well, my people are back there. No, shut the hell up. You want okay. You say, okay, Andromeda. If you really believe that, right? Look, I don't go by Google, bro. Whoever the hell you are. I actually read books. I got geography books and everything. I don't go by Google and everything. You were trying to say that Africans were in Canada. No, get the hell out of here. Why don't you call in the show and then show me that? Don't sit here like a troll, like you are, being a coward. Call the hell in and then tell me. This is what I'm talking about. I had no idea, Dinus, that self-hate in black. I always knew this.
Well, right? Kyle, I'm gonna tell you what it is. So remember when I guess a couple years back they discovered Cheddar Man in the UK and England. Remember Cheddar Man? So Cheddar Man was like the first, I guess, the first European, right, to be discovered like hundreds of thousands of years ago, something like that, right? So he was dark skinned with blue eyes,
right?
So I started to ask my, my black friends in the UK, like, hey, are black people in the UK saying they're descendants of Cheddar Man and they're indigenous to England? And they're like, no, because we know where we're from. We know we're from the Caribbean. We know we're from Jamaica. We know we're from West Africa. So no. Now, if Cheddar Man would have been discovered here in America, you would have had black folks. See Cheddar Man. See, that's us. That's us. So
yeah, black people in America. I thought look. Bottom line is this: the white man did a job on us here. And when I'm starting to see now, maybe when people say that that black people in America is going to take a little difficult trying to adjust to life in Africa, I'm seeing that. We just don't want to be we just don't want to be what we are. I walk up to some people and I'm almost thinking, can I talk to this guy about Africa? Then when I found out, okay, his brother read a lot of books. Oh man, we start bonding. If a black person with an African American brother, sister, if they can't talk about Africa with affection and like their history and everything, and what I'm finding now, Dinus, too, is the more educated more black people are, the more they know about Africa, and they read books. They're like, okay. But what I'm saying is the educational system in America and popular culture in America, most people don't read. Most people don't read. Most people don't take time to learn history. You go to people's house, right? The first thing about education is not the schools, right? Every person's house should have a set of encyclopedias in the house. You should have a set of books, a bookcase, a bookshelf, right? And that's what I had growing up. My parents made me read the encyclopedia. They made me read the dictionary. We had a globe in the house. We had a world map in the house. By the time I was 10 years old, I knew every country in the world, every state in the United States, and the capital. And so I was so good at maps and everything like that. And when I was in junior high, when I was in my junior year in high school, my teachers called me Map Man. Because I was always, and that's why I call myself the geopolitical pundit. Because I was always into geopolitics. Lines, borders, and stuff like that thing. And then it dawned on me that the reason why we are in this situation because we're living in a dominant white society, white culture that we haven't recognized. And also, I would like to ask people like Joy Reid and Al Sharpton. Let me ask you, Diane, right?
Right.
Do you really believe Al Sharpton is genuine when he says he loves America?
No. You know what? Actually,
no. I don't think he does. But I think he the stuff I've heard him say.
Well, he has.
When did he
start? Who's paying him? The people who are paying him.
So why is it that black people can't see that the people you listen to, they don't love America, but they don't want you to say, okay, let's say black people stop loving America, right? They're gonna still tell you to get out there and vote for Obama, vote for the Democrats and everything. And so in other words, basically, it's like an end game. If you say that America is an unredeemable racist country, wouldn't the next step be, well, it's time for us to part ways, right? No, but they keep browbeating us, telling us our ancestors fought and died and got knocked upside the head for the right to vote. This whole slave narrative. When does this end? All right, you told us that we was going through a civil rights movement was orchestrated, even though we can't rightly criticize because they actually did pass laws and everything. But if 2020 and we're still saying the same thing is going on, right? Isn't that time to put a period on? Okay, we did this. You said do this. We 50 years. That was Generation X, right? My generation. 50 years. Right. You told us we were integrated into America, right? You told us that everything was going to be good, right? You told us to cast our buckets down. We don't have to listen to Malcolm X. Marcus Garvey and all these Huey Newton. All those people are gone. We're all Americans now. We're all Americans, right? Okay, if we're all Americans, that means that, hey, well, you know something? I got a nice 401k. I like what the Republicans are saying. Oh, no. Well, you know something? I kind of like what Trump is saying. I don't know, but I'm kind of feeling the GOP. No, you can't do that. The struggle continues. The struggle continues. Remember your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? The struggle. Well, you told us that if we did this all these years, right, we'll be free. What's freedom? Right. Being able to choose who you want to choose. Right? Now you're telling me that all that sacrifice, somebody said Carl needs a therapist, somebody meant to. That's pretty funny. Now you're telling us that after all these years of getting our ass kicked and sacrificing, we sat there and watched police brutality. Oh, just giving them benefit of the doubt, all the stuff like that, right? Then there's a large black middle class,
That's shrinking, bro.
That's shrinking. But you know why it's shrinking? You know why that's shrinking? Because we have the people we vote for have never engaged the black middle class. The black middle class is supposed to go to the upper class, right? The working class is supposed to go into the middle class. It's like a what do we call upper mobility,
right?
But the same black people with their I see it all the time. It's like, okay, I see you. It look like you ever see people down. You go to a neighborhood like shit, like we was popping in the 70s, right?
All right.
But you got the same people now growing old living in a house, right? And their kids have never took it over that house. They're now living over in the, you know what I'm saying? There's no upwardly mobile. We're all stuck in this same, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? This slave narrative. We have never gotten it over to the promised land as far as that. You got some people who make it, right? And what happens, a whole generation of people, right? There's a study that said there's a lot of middle class people who grew up middle class and now living in an underclass. A generation ago, they grew up in the middle class as kids, right? Now they're part of the growing underclass. That's white people, white America too, but it's black people too. And I hate seeing what I see is good black people look like they came from good background, solid background, living in poverty. I hate seeing that. I do
Right.
not like seeing black people that look like you know how you meet them, Dice, right? They got
Oh yeah.
ideas. They got, oh yeah, I want to do this. And you see them all the time, man. I do everything I can in my power, my business and everything to help those type of people, and I see they're doing good. They're trying their best, but they never get that break. You see what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Now look at the people who we elect to office. They spend 100 years in office, right? Singing the slave narrative to us, telling us we shall overcome. But the bottom line is this: it's only their white people and everything who are benefiting, and them and their kids. The black political class and their kids go to these nice colleges. They get these nice breaks and everything like that, and the masses never have anything. Look at their voting. Look at their districts.
Right.
Because they put that guilt trip on us, like about slavery, and also, oh yeah, we shall overcome. And, oh yeah, I march. They always do that march. I see this one song, there's one video commercial, and they always use those gospel songs. And I love, and I grew up in a Christian church. I like God, but when they politicize the gospel and everything, oh we are. Oh, yeah. So Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying?
All
I'm
right.
like,
All right.
yo, stop stroking at that friggin' we shall overcome. Keep your eyes on the prize because we know you don't give a goddamn about us. When are we gonna start saying, the hell with you? We've given you our vote for the last what? Okay, 1965. That's what 55 years. We've given you our vote off at least 55 years. Look at Baltimore. Look at Boston. Look at Detroit. Look at Gary, Indiana. Look at all these places where Black America is failing collectively. And then what did they say? What was the point of the Congressional Black Caucus voting for NAFTA? Did they one time think about what's that going to do to the entry level? It used to be a time where a black man could get an entry level job and get into the middle class by just doing hard work.
Right.
Get a trade or something like that, and like that, feed his family. And he has something to go to a woman and say, "I want to take your hand in marriage." How my father did it. You know what I'm saying? I got my hand a marriage one. Maybe I might go for that program and get promoted to supervisor. And we had a society where black men and black women were together. They built families. We don't have that anymore. Now it's like, oh, every sister, she's out there doing her own thing. Men are out there doing their own thing. Families are broken up and everything. We have child support enforcement court in Black America as the norm and stuff like that. So the bottom line is this: I want to know who the hell decided on this social construct that we have right now. If those who decided, this is all with metric. Everything you see now didn't just happen by accident. They knew what was going to happen
by design.
when you put this criminal culture in Black America. What will happen when you put gangs in the culture? When you deliberately export jobs, right? You deliberately take jobs out of the community. Why? Because you see Black people with money and success is a threat to the social order. What was the social order? Black people Black men in America they don't see, the thing is they don't trust us. They would rather see you broke in jail, living in a project down and out, than ever see thriving Black communities in this country again. That's a threat. It's a threat. Why? Because they can't control you. Who are the people that are rebelling against the Democratic Party mostly? The Black people who don't need them. Who are the Black people who like the Democratic Party right now? The Black people that own social programs. Let's be honest. That like social programs and think they can't live without white zaddy, which is a topic of my show. My show right after this show tonight, folks. If you want to join us on Gangsterville Radio, I air at 11 p.m. tonight. I'm going to continue on this topic and everything. My topic tonight is, can Black people survive without white zaddy? On Gangsterville Radio. You see the description in the link and thing. So join me at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the problem is this, though. We live in a culture where we as a people do not believe that we can survive. Well, if white people tomorrow decide to go to Mars, right?
Right.
They're saying we're all packing and going to Mars. Y'all need
and they didn't say that we were there first. We were the original Martians.
Oh yeah, then this is what'll happen. You'll have the Colin, why don't you lead the charge? Sit your ass down. You know, I bet Kyle eat chitlins. No, I don't eat chitlins. Shut the hell up. All these snide remarks. These snide remarks. I don't eat chitlins. I told Dynasty the other day, I called in, I was eating fish. I eat fish all the time. Dynasty said, yo, her with that pork chop. You know, that ribs. I said, Dynasty, I'm not eating no goddamn ribs, right? I said, I'm eating fish. He's like, I know, her eating that rib. Nah, I'm eating fucking fish, man. You know, I don't eat pork. I don't eat freaking chitlins, none of that shit. It made me lose my train of thought, you know. But white people decided to move to Mars, right? This is what'll happen, right? They'll be up there and we'll sue to go up there with them, right?
You said sue?
Yeah, we'll sue. We'll sue into the university court. They'll call Thanos and say, hey, look, man, you know, we want to go to that place. White people try to think they're getting away from us, right? That's exactly, swear to God, that's what happened. Then what'll happen? Somebody said, not me. Yes, you will. Hey, yo, Abdul Ali, my no offense, brother. But the bottom line is Negroes or be anywhere where the white man provides infrastructure at. Just like this platform right here, YouTube. We're on a white man's platform, right? Because the bottom line is we don't have any faith. We have black-owned platforms, but we don't use them. We got YouTube. So let's just stop this nonsense about you won't follow. You go anywhere they provide you infrastructure and leisure and comfort, you know? So that's what it is. Stop your lying. Anybody say that, man, you can shut the hell up right now because you forget who you're talking to, you know? You know? The bottom line is this. If that happens, right, Negroes will sue the the galactic court, right, to go up there, right? Right? Guess what? They'll come up there. Oh, they'll get comfortable. Yeah, let's get this shit popping. After about a generation, right, they'll start saying, well, we was here first.
Right.
After the infrastructure's all set up and everything, and the whites up there like, damn, man, we had y'all niggas down there on Earth, right? Y'all fucked it up, man. Y'all said we don't like you, Black Lives Matter. We found another planet, and here y'all the fuck are right here. That's what happened. And then you like, nah, man, y'all was reparations, man. Y'all was reparations, man. Give me my reparations check. And it's like, yo, what people look at it like, yo, Negroes, do y'all, yo, and like I said, man, I'm a clown on my people because I love them. And it's different with a lot of other people. I love my people, so I clown on my people. I know we're silly. Yeah, like everybody. Black America is no different than anybody else. We have silliness, like Albert Einstein once said. There's no end to human stupidity. Every group of people are stupid, but the difference between us and a lot of people is this: the smart people, because they're in their own domain, we're not in our own domain. The dumb people and the silly people and the ignorant people rule Black America, right? If we were in our own land, nation state, and we control everything from top to bottom right area, the cream rises to the top. The top people, the pinnacle, be ruling that society.
Listen, guys, make sure you hit that like button again. Hit the like button. As you come to the chat room, hit that like button. Also, too, April 21st to the 30th, we're going to Sierra Leone. April 21st to the 30th, we are going to Sierra Leone. Come and join us, everybody. Come and join us in Sierra Leone. We're going to have a great time. All right, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, so the bottom line is this: if we were in our own land, right, and they'll say, "Well, let's go to Nigeria." Well, like I said, and somebody, that dude called in the other night talking to your brother, the brother I love, the Igbo brother from Nigeria,
Abube.
I gotta know his name, man. That's disrespectful. I should know his name, Abube. But you know that was the same guy from last week, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Ethiopian guy.
Disguise himself. First of all, he wouldn't say this arrogant self. He said, well, somebody in college Genesis said Nigeria means nigga. Let me clear that up, right? When I say that, right, when a white man like Lord Lugard says Nigeria, right, it's not saying it from a position of affection. Just like when they call parts of Africa the Guinea, that's not saying this place. It's like contempt. They're saying it in a vein of contempt. You know, they say the Guinea, black, you know, evil, Nigeria, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like saying nigger, you know what I'm saying? I didn't say they literally said nigger area, but I'm saying, but that was just basically, it was contempt. My point was, right, if you're going to talk about Monrovia, right, was named after an actual person, right, and Ethiopia, which means land of the sunburnt people, right, that was given to them, right? The most Ethiopians they didn't know they were called Ethiopians until outside they call themselves all different types of things, right? So he got angry and started calling me ghetto, hood. What do you call me? Hood,
ghetto, yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
thug,
yeah.
because when you lose a debate, then he's gonna sneak back on a couple of days later under a different name, wouldn't even say his real name, and try to say, well, there was a guy called Genesis on last week said this and whatnot. I know he's out there listening. Call the hell in, and you want to finish what we started last week. You can go right ahead, But don't do that sneak shit. We know it was you. We know it was you. We know about to say. I could tell somebody. You could fool people all the time, but I know when I'm listening to somebody, I can nobody question. That's the same person that called in. You could change your moniker, your name, all you want. I knew it was you. But get back to the topic, right? The bottom line is this. Like I said, this is one other thing that happened the other day, right? I think I told you this, Diane. I don't know if I told you. I talk to all people all week, so I tell Diane a lot of stuff, right? But I don't know who I told this to, right? I was sitting outside getting ready to go in my favorite place to get my fish, right? Ready to go get my fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thought I was done for the day, right? And so I get one more call, lead call coming in, right? So I have to answer this call, right? But right next to me, right, I see this older blacks, all these old civil rights types, these old civil rights, these we shall overcome types, right? They're over there talking. He's talking to his mother. Yeah, that's right. Because he got the COVID and he's trying to wipe us all out and whatnot. That's why we got to do our best to get there. I'm like, look at this dude. I felt like and he's lucky I had him. I said, I'm about to say, I was about to butt into the car. They were talking between cars, right? I was about to say, can I join this conversation, and say, what the hell are you talking about? Well, the bottom line is he don't want us to wear a mask. And wow, I said, do you understand what's at stake in this next election? That after this next election, right? We have 3 more weeks, right? And Black America is do or die. If Trump loses, right? The world will know that you don't have to promise Black people anything. You don't have to campaign. You have to do anything, right? And you will still show up to vote. That means future generations of Black people, right, will have nothing. Do you think they really care about you? You got whipped by the horses, stomped. You think they really care about that? No, They want to stomp you in the ground forever. When not, white liberals have just as much contempt for you as a white racist. Let me say that again. They have just as much contempt for you as a white racist. For example, Candace Owens had a rally at the White House, right? A whole bunch of Black people showed up, right? Agree or disagree. I'm not campaigning with Karen Owens like that, but I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Let's put it like this: it's time to start playing games with people. I don't care about what the fuck you feel about it. Whole bunch of Black people. Excuse my language. A whole bunch of Black people out there, right? And the white liberal media was calling them stupid, ignorant. They were paid off. So in other words, basically, had they were out there for Joe Biden, it would have been okay. Why? Because that's what they expect for you. How do you know what led those Black women out there to say, I'm going to support Trump and whatever this time around? You don't know what's going on in their life. And then they interviewed one lady, right? She said, well, I believe in Black Lives Matter, but I lost my son, almost lost my husband to street violence, right? My son was home from the military. He had night uniform on. He was stabbed in his heart, right? My husband came to break up the fight.
God. Oh my God.
You heard about that? And I'll say she goes, and he got stabbed and wounded, but that's my husband survived. And she goes, she had a picture of her son in his army uniform. I lost my son. So she goes, look, Black lives got to start mattering to Black people, and that's real. Every day in our area, so you turn on your local news. We're killing each other every day. It's a police and it's Black on Black. Black lives don't matter to nobody in this country. We don't respect ourselves. We listen to music that tells us to kill ourselves, to kill our brothers and sisters, rape our women, all this kind of stuff.
They just sharing the struggle. See, they're just the struggle.
The struggle. A struggle I never asked for. So therefore, this is what you have. Then when these same people who talk about like that, right? When they get in trouble, right? When they get like this guy that shot the Megan Stallion, he's gonna be, please come and rescue me. The white man's after me and whatnot. All this kind of stupid stuff and everything. And so, bottom line, when they get in trouble, they want you to bail them out. And I'm saying, no, I'm saving all our credit as far as like our ass whipping the white man got coming to him. We're saving that. You dumb niggas that want to go out there and do dumb shit, running out here doing shit, you're on your own, And everybody knows the real Black America is sitting back, waiting patiently for the right time to strike, So all you Negroes out here, they're trying to draw us into conflict, draw us out and spend our energy. We wasted so much energy over the last 7 months doing absolutely nothing. Now people are like, okay, now it's time, because sooner or later, even your so-called white liberals, when they get what they want, which is LGBTQ rights, and also they're gonna push you to the side. Have you learned anything from the 1970s? White people sing "Kumbaya," let's hold hands until they get what they want. After they get what they want, they do it all the time. That's the fun part about it, Dynas, right? They said, "What's about us?" Oh no, come over here, Rufus. Come here. Come here. Get down right here. And then boom, they kick you in the head. That's the fun part about it. Thanks a lot. You know, so the bottom line is this. That's what it all is, you know. Somebody said, have
you guys, if you want to call in, call in,
man.
Guys, hit that like button. And then if you want to call in and challenge the Kala, you know, the Kala Thanos Genesis.
They called me Thanos for a reason, you know.
All right, so email is ahuru@searchforahuru.com. Email is ahuru@searchforahuru.com.
People don't
if you want to call in, again, guys, if you want to call in, ahuru@searchforahuru.com. I will send you the link and you can call in and you can challenge me and Kala Thanos Genesis.
What gets me is people don't really believe that this music is having an effect on kids.
It does.
With 13, 14-year-old carrying guns, shooting each other, what are they getting this for? You know, watching Mary Poppins on TV? No, it's what they go into their head. A kid's mind doesn't develop until he's like 24. You know, when you start talking about, I'm gonna swing on you. If their reality is somebody shooting at them or shooting back at them and everything, that's their reality. That's the reality they're gonna live. That's why a 15-year-old now feels that he has to carry a gun around, because that's his reality. You know, what is his reality? What he sees on social media. He's thinking, well, geez, man, I get stressed. I don't blame him. A lot of them. You know, they live in these neighborhoods and whatnot. Next thing you know, what's the challenge? You know, call in with your not. Say what you want to say at drama. Call in. You know, call the heck in. You know, they'll say to people, like, oh, what's the topic? What's the topic? You know what I'm talking about. It's time for me, like man said, as I love you, I love my people and whatnot. But it's time for me to put my foot up your ass, you know? And the bottom line, when someone puts their foot up your ass, if you don't like it, you say, you know, Colin, I know you put your foot up my ass. You broke your foot off of my ass, right? But can you tell me what I did wrong? And then I'll explain to you. You know, I'll explain why I put my foot up your ass, you know? Negroes got to stop this trifling stuff. There's things that basically, there's things that that we can do, and there's things that they are responsible. We're holding them responsible for what they owe us and everything, right? But at the same time, right, we gotta stand up like grown men and women and start acting like we could take care of ourselves, and we're not needy, and we're not just so down and out and decrepit. Why? Because what's happening is this, and tell me if I'm wrong, Diane, right?
Right.
There's even our brothers and sisters coming from overseas are starting to have the same view toward the collective of us as white people. I see that's what the whole tension between ADOS and so-called ADOS, and I hate ADOS and everything. But, and like I said last week, a lot of these black immigrants have a legitimate beef. They say, look, you know, we're here raising our family. I see them all the time. They're raising our families. We're taking the education opportunities. We're doing it, and also they're going back. You know, so now this is how Pan-Africanism and Black America as far as failed, right? I know a lot of Liberians, right, who are basically who establish themselves in America right now, and they're doing business back and forth between America and Liberia without any sort of African American so-called help. You know, and they're doing that. And other people doing that, you know, doing it. So in other words, there's no incentive to get involved with Black people. Why? Because they're like this. If I'm going to need something, right, they'll have white partners or whoever, you know, Asian partners, everything. Oh, you guys want to invest in this project over here in my hometown in Ghana, Cameroon, all that time? They're not fucking with Black African Americans. Mm-hmm. Because when they see a Black American, we're always begging for what? Civil rights, integration, and all stuff like that. So they want to look, looking at us like we're just useless. So basically, we thought that the one thing that we always knew that Japanese were going to turn racist against us. Okay, we understood that, you know. We understood that remember the Korean situation in Los Angeles back in
when the girl got killed, and then you had
Teacher Harlan.
Yeah. We always
do that, right? But we never thought I never thought in a million years. I always thought once you're black, go black power, yo. Hey, yo, Nigerian brother off the boat, black power, brother, my brother. Yo, the African immigrant is seeing the world the same way as everybody. Like, yo, what the fuck are y'all niggas doing over here? Yo, it's like, well, I'm political. Well, you voted for the same dude for 3 decades and he hasn't done nothing for you. You know, I know in Africa, they'll have your damn head, you know, if you don't produce and whatnot. People go hungry and so they're like, get the hell out, you gotta go. You know, but we're always lecturing everybody around the world about the virtues of American democracy. And American democracy has not worked for how's American democracy working for the black community, Dinus? You know,
No, it's not working.
so why do black people always going around lecturing people like Paul Kagame about the democracy? You know, Kagame is a dictator. You know. Remember the old black so-called African Americans that hated Mugabe? Remember that?
Right.
Mugabe's a dictator. Rah, 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 rah. So what is John Conyers? John Conyers was in office for what, 60-something years. What about that? What about the fact that you have Democratic and black control over Baltimore since 1967 and whatnot, and Baltimore is still the same friggin' pile of shit that it was. But yet these same so-called high and mighty black Americans always want to go around the world lecturing everybody about democracy. You know, Andrew Young and all these other people like that. So it's time to start friggin' calling these friggin' people out, you know? Calling these people out. So anyways, anybody calling in? Anybody want to disagree?
Yeah. I sent the link out to a couple people. I'm just waiting for them to click on the link and actually call in.
Yes. I'm a very lonely person, folks. This is therapy for me. People calling in, you know.
All right, well, go ahead.
Hey, yeah. So I gotta agree. Yeah, I gotta agree with what you just said. Most Africans really do not take Black America seriously at this point. As far as business, socially, the stuff I've heard people say, the stuff I personally think myself, I think Black America is done. There's no hope. And the music, yeah, I mean, like, we just have to think about it. We don't want to be stereotyped as criminals and whatnot. So why do we allow these artists to just pump out this horrible music about killing, drugs?
We have no.
That's what all of it's about.
No control over. We have no control over.
That's a cop out. We have complete control over it. I mean, you can't.
Willie, I disagree. Yo, let me tell you something, man. This is what it is. Just like black people say, this is not anything new, right? Black people try to. We had at one time we used to have in New York. We used to own black-owned radio stations. You know, we control what went on the air.
We still have black radio stations.
No. Clear Channel, Radio One, all that bought up black media. And iHeartRadio owns everything. They hire all the personalities you need. They'll give you a Kwanzaa. You don't control none of that, bro.
Listen, every city has at least 5 black radio stations that are owned by black people.
Okay, black owned or black managed. You know, the Breakfast Club is not black owned, right? You know that, right?
I'm not talking about the Breakfast Club. Any local radio station.
What black owned radio stations are still out there? Tell me, where are they at?
Well, let me look it up.
So yeah, look it up. I know this stuff, bro. Since about 2000, Bill Clinton was in office. 2000, man, that was the media. They deregulate the media. Now they're buying up. They signed on the dotted line. A lot of black-owned radio stations. They say, okay, we'll buy you out and hire you. You know, and the bottom, and you saw right there in the early 2000s the change right there. The type of music that got on prime time, everything changed. You know, everything changed. So the bottom line is if we were in our own nation or whatever like that, we didn't have to worry about the FCC and all this stuff, all this freaking nonsense, you know, it'd be different. But we live in America and we're vulnerable. And the only thing that kept us safe for generations was black love. We don't have that. Now it's about the almighty green dollar. People will sell you out in a minute. You know, all we care about is Jay-Z, whoever like that is making $1 billion. We don't care about all the nonsense they put out and all the filth and everything like that. Carl, you sound like a hater, you know? I'm just telling you like it is. Nobody gives a dang about they like Cardi B. That freaking filth. I watch a little bit of that. I mean, my God, it's an abomination. You know, but the bottom line, hey, look, you got black women, grown-ass black women out there talking about getting their WAP on. And also, like I said on my radio show, I said, look, man, if you're over 45, it's time to get your grandma gam gam on. Get your gam gam game on. I said, Colin, what is gam gam? Gam gam mean is you go back to Helen. Remember Helen? Who's George Jefferson's maid? Florence. Remember that?
Yeah.
Now Florence was in her 40s, right? She always had that apron and a scarf on her head and whatnot.
Right.
She could bake you some cookies. And we need black women in their 40s and 50s getting their gam gam on. You know, take care of the children. You know, go out there, bake some cookies. You know, we don't need everybody out there clubbing.
Anyway, let's get back on the point.
All right, brother.
When I interact with black people of any age range, let's say a 60-year-old black man, I feel like I'm dealing with a teenager. Like the mental development of African Americans is so unbelievably low. Like at the barbershop, they talk about the same bullshit that high schoolers talk about.
Wow.
They're just, it's just a very clownish group of people. That's just been my experience. And
but by the way, what city do you live in, Fungo? What city do you live in?
I live in the southeast.
Oh, south. That's
I used to live in Atlanta.
Oh, what part of the south you live in?
Jonesboro, Georgia.
You used to live in Jonesboro.
Yeah, Terra Boulevard.
Oh God. Well, okay. So now I understand why. Okay, now I live in Atlanta. I know Terra Boulevard. So now I see why you're the way. Now I understand how you view black people in a certain way. Okay, because you're judging black people off of Terra Boulevard. I mean, golly.
Yeah, maybe. Where I live now, it's probably even worse. I feel like in majority, like white areas where blacks are a minority, it can actually be even worse than when blacks are the majority in an area.
You think
that's been my experience?
You think we act up in front of white people on purpose?
I feel like there's absolutely no unity between black people. All people want to do where I'm at now is, get a white chick. That's all. That's their mission in life.
Yeah, but really, I'm thinking I'm really viewing it from the type of areas you're staying in. Because I mean, hold on, Colin, one second. Because Terra Boulevard, I mean, golly. So basically, Colin, Terra Boulevard. So back in like 2006 or 2008, when you had gentrification in the city of Atlanta, they shifted all those people to Terra Boulevard and Riverdale, which would be Highway 85. So like the type of black people you're dealing with over there, now I understand why your view of black people is a certain way.
Also, let me say this, Linus. There's a whole thing in black culture in America, right? It's called the bum rush, right? Now, let me give you an example. When I first moved here to Virginia Beach, a peaceful city in the world, we have a large black middle class here. Virginia Beach has about 25% African American, middle class. I mean, top of the line. Most of the people, military, everything. We have a low crime rate, everything like that. We don't have that out here. All the stuff you just said. We have the knuckleheads who come out here with that stuff like that. But for the most part. And we have black neighborhoods out here, $1 million homes out here in this Tidewater area. It's the oldest area for Black America in North America, in America, the Tidewater area. And this is for the first African slaves on Fort Monroe was brought to.
Well, statistically, even in wealthier. Well, no, listen. Let me just make this point.
Skewed to make it seem like something you could make. I could make statistically skew how.
Well, I mean, look at Prince George's County, right? Even though that's a wealthy black zip code, the crime in Prince George's County is still way too high.
Right, but
it seems to be everywhere. Like you can't really escape it.
The reason for that is the reason is simple, man. The bum rush. If I was say like the bum rush. You know what the bum rush means, brother? You know what the bum rush means? It means hide your neighborhood. Why? Because as soon as you start putting out there that you're chilling and everything, the bum rush is going to happen. Negroes are going to come there, and it's going to be we're the only group of people who accept the bum rush, right? The bum rush. When Harlem was one time a real peaceful, seedy, a nice community. Black people from the South, what happened? A bum rush. People came there, all kinds of problems. Detroit was one time a little small enclave. As soon as word got out, there were jobs. A bum rush, a massive flux of black people. Atlanta.
Hey, same thing in California.
Yeah, a bum rush. Anytime
LA.
no one plans for the masses to come out to any place. It's called the bum rush. It's a bum rush. We bum rush Atlanta, and people are like, oh man, Atlanta. Well, there's too many of us, right? And nobody knows what to do about the bum rush. As soon as people heard about Charlotte, North Carolina, what happened? Charlotte had a bum rush. People started moving out, migrating out there. We have Charlotte, get a popular. What happened? Same problems that they left follows them there. So we can't blame our people for that, man. The same low culture and everything. Every neighborhood community lasts for a while until people start saying, I gotta get out there, and they get out there any way they can. That's the way it is, man. So what you gotta do is take the good, take with the bad, man. They're still our people, man.
I don't know. I feel like in every other culture, people with education and class and whatnot,
bro, we have
no. Let me finish. Are able to separate themselves from the trash. In Black America, we refuse to acknowledge that certain people are just trash. You cannot redeem them.
Right.
There's a huge section of our population that is just beyond redemption. And until we recognize that,
but what are we gonna do?
Huh?
What can we do? Shoot them?
Well, I'm gonna give you an example. Hold on, I'm gonna give you an example, Carla. So when I was the thing is, Willie, here in America, Black people, we don't have a punishment mechanism where we can
exactly.
We don't have the reward. We have to have reward and punishment.
But hold on, Carla, let me finish. So when I was in LA, I lived in Koreatown, right? And there was this homeless Korean lady that would walk up and down Western Avenue. When I say the minute she stepped onto Western Avenue, there were these old. Let me finish, Carla. There were these old Korean women down her throat, and I don't speak Korean, but they're pretty much letting her like, "Look, you making us look bad. Take your ass back to the house."
Bingo. That is what we need. We need to stop letting people just be complete fuck ups.
Okay, let me ask you, Willie. This is where we're gonna get real controversy, right? Now, when I see these people, right? That fuck that. Now, as far as let's see what type of fuckers we're talking about, right? Now, somebody may not have a lot of money, may have money and everything like that. He's down on his luck and everything, but like it is what it is. That's part of life, right? There's white. I see, and where I live at, there's more white panhandlers, right, than there are Black people, right? Even in your area, who most of the panhandlers white.
Yeah, there's a lot where I'm at now. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. But white people, it's like you just said, you went on about Black people. White people are given a pass. Why? Because white people know that when they're panhandle, they're not embarrassing their race. Because we live in as a minority, and we have not reached the Jubilee, that we have not reached Juneteenth, we have not reached the civil rights we should overcome and everything. We still feel that when somebody Black does something, it's a reflection on us. That means we're not free. We're not free people. You see what I mean?
The number of Black people that are fucking up their lives is way higher than any other group. Like what I'm talking about, it's like 70-80%. With white, maybe, yeah.
You say 70%. So first of all, hold up. If that was really good, so what you're talking about?
I disagree with that, Willie.
Huh?
I disagree with that, Willie. I just think the ones who are messing up,
it seems like it.
They get a bigger platform, so it kind of
they're on a platform.
They get if you're messing up, you get this platform.
You get platform,
and it makes you look
and everything. You're like,
worse.
oh my God, man, they're embarrassing us.
I mean, I don't know, man. Just look at the data of Black male reading levels in schools. Like everything seems to be falling apart. Like you can't have 70% of Black male students in schools not reading.
Where do you get these statistics?
Well, hold on, Colin. I think in LA, I think it's worse than 70%.
Oh yeah, in LA, but that's not the whole Black America. We got all kinds of graduate. We're the number of Black males entering college is at the all-time high right now. Why don't we talk about the winning, right? And then you can say, hey, let's talk about the losing. You always say,
that's the problem. We don't have any punishment for people who fail. It's like we just make excuses.
So let me ask you a question, right? Black people in America, who is the zaddy? Who is zaddy in America? Is it us or white people?
It's white people.
So basically,
But that's a
what you're saying
self-inflicted
is
condition.
white people have been doing their job at being zaddy and punishing Negroes, whatever. Because we don't.
Wait, no.
Cause
Listen, you cannot pawn off your culture on
no,
a
it's
different
not
group of
that,
people.
bro. You understand something, right? We did not ask to be brought here. This is not our. We didn't say, okay, we're gonna come over here. White people put us here. They never assimilated us into America. We live on
Yeah,
the margins
but
of American
what's this?
society.
Okay, so do you want to be assimilated or what?
Well, it's you see, this is what I'm talking about when you talk to foreign black people, right? They don't get it. They don't get it. Do you know the fact that a generation ago you couldn't live in the neighborhood you want to?
Yeah.
All right, then. So therefore, who got their head busted in making that
Listen,
happen?
that's a whole nother
No,
conversation.
it's not. No, it's not. And then also the bottom line is you can live in a neighborhood, you can be integrated, but that don't mean you're assimilated. Assimilated means assume. When you assimilate a group of people, right? You know what that means? Black and white people marrying each other.
Yes, I get that. But listen,
Hold on.
Koreans are
Black
not
people and white
assimilated.
people,
Hispanics are
hold on.
not
White people
assimilated.
and black people are not going to assimilate with each other because of slavery. The issue of slavery is the elephant in the room right now. Is the reason why. And what you want us to do, right, is just to shut up about slavery.
No. Listen, it's not about slavery. White people just don't want to assimilate with blacks.
So what
I've
can we do?
accepted that, and the rest of us should.
Colin, brother, let the brother finish,
Okay,
Colin.
okay,
God
okay.
damn.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with slavery or guilt or any of that stuff. They just don't want to. And that's not going to change. So I mean, instead of constantly chasing this unicorn of assimilation, why not just focus on your own culture and address the elephant in the room that is the real problem here, which is the crime, the low academic achievement, and just the dysfunction in the culture. That's the real issue. White
It is a
people
problem.
really don't matter.
It is a problem, but the whole thing is though, bro, we live in a culture where we've seen people who had degrees and everything homeless. That see in Nigeria, you have a degree, you can go back and you always gonna eat. We had people, you seen those videos, Dice, right? I got 3 degrees and whatnot, and I'm homeless out here. You know what I'm saying? That's the
No,
reality.
it's definitely the opposite.
No,
Most
yeah,
degree holders in Nigeria are unemployed.
Willie, let me interject. And Willie's right. But the difference between, I would say, having a degree in America and being homeless versus having a degree and in Nigeria and not having access to opportunity, it's just the culture is different where no one's going to allow you to go homeless in
You're
Africa.
right. You're
No
right.
one's it's just like if you're homeless in Africa, it's because you're just mentally insane and sick.
Yeah, people have a support system.
Yeah, you're not gonna go homeless in Africa. It's not set up that way. It's just that's an American thing.
But I mean, to be honest, though, like there is quite a bit of opportunity here.
So
To be
let me ask you, let me interject right here. When people say there's quite opportunity, I'm a living example. Okay, there's opportunity, but what you keep saying, I kept saying, what about all the black people in America that are winning? Look, the bottom line, this is what it is, bro. We do not have a nation. I don't have any infrastructure to basically give masses of black people jobs and everything. That's basically the people who are on the top. Let me give you a perfect example. The Keystone Pipeline. How many black-owned contractors got any part of that multi-billion-dollar thing? None. The natural gas pipeline going through the states.
Yeah, but Carla, understand what Willie's saying is just the system's never going to give us these opportunities, man. It's just
my point is this though. Black people, like when Obama basically cleaned up the oil spill, right? Guess what? He gave all billions of dollars to those people who were affected by it in the marshlands, the oil, billions of dollars, right? Nothing ever. We never got a friggin' a windfall like that before, you know.
Yeah, and Carl, I think the point that me, you, and Willie, and I think we all can agree on is we're never going to get that windfall. So it's just
but what I'm saying is though, white people after World War II, right? You know what they got? 1862, white people got the Homestead Act, right? Gave them land and credit to build.
We know that. And so the point we're making is like I think that's Willie's point. That's your point.
This is what I'm saying. All right, since we know that, right? Black people never got a fair share with this government, everything like that, right? And even the mentality of black people, even when you do, like Trump said, we're gonna invest a $500 billion Cadillac plan. The average black person, no. I've been some bullies telling us, no, don't vote for Trump, vote for a Democrat.
Whoa. No,
Really, really ain't
I
sure.
am definitely not a leftist.
Okay.
You could not pay me to vote for Biden.
Okay,
No.
that's supposed to be good. But what I'm saying is this though. Look, we're under so much. Let me tell you something right now, right? We're under so much peer pressure in Black America, right? And this is what I started to show off with, right? To keep the whole "we shall overcome" stuff like that. We don't want to overcome. You understand something about the beloved Black America, right? The Black America is a community in chains. We're in chains. We're in bondage. Do you understand that? So yeah, there's gonna be people
It's
out there.
mental bondage. The point
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying to
what I'm
make
saying,
is that it's
even
mental
though,
bondage.
look, hold on, let me give you an example. Robert Smith gave $40 million to a Morehouse College, right? They're trying to put this guy in jail right now, you know. And so the bottom line is, we got people out there that's doing great
Khaled,
things.
look, to be honest, it seems like you've taken the black victimhood mentality.
No, it's not. What you're doing, you're taking the white supremacist talking points. Hold, let me give you an example. Let me ask you, what was wrong with white people when they failed during the stock market crash of 1929? What was their excuse? We survived that. They didn't. So you
I
don't even know
mean,
that history. You don't even know that history.
of course I know that history.
Hold
What
on,
are you
so
talking about?
what you're doing is white people have had help after help for generations in this country, right? The Homestead Act, the GI Bill, all the stuff like that. That basically giving home loans to low interest rates to people who built the suburbia after World War II. You know, black people were excluded from that red line. We were red line for generations. We couldn't catch up. You know, we didn't get credit in banks and all stuff like that. So therefore, you say, "Oh, it's an excuse." But when black people say, "Okay," and then when we do have success, it's because some benevolent great America. No, because black people are strong in this country, and we do success. It's on our own. But the whole thing is, the majority of black people take responsibility for themselves. We can't take care of every black person in America, you know. And so we're always judged by the people that's failing. We're never judged by the people that's winning. You know, we're never judged by the people that's winning. We're always judged by our failures. Because what you're doing is you're looking at us through the lens of white supremacy, like a white person.
All right, 1 second. 1 second, Willie. Two Niger, go ahead, two Niger.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick contribution, and it's about the language that is being used to describe African Americans, and some kind of, the kind of language that they are using is really, really disturbing, because there are people alive today that were present during lynching of Black Americans and taking body parts home as trophies. And when I saw some of these videos, and those were the few times I actually thought there is true evil in this world. And we come here and start, bad mouthing each other and talking down about each other. It's quite, underwhelming. About what Kala was saying, I understand the frustration with the Democrats and all the rest. How do you support somebody that supports white supremacists? Is that where we are now? We want to sign up with KKK? What madness is this? Sit down. You don't go and sign up with KKK? That is total madness now.
So
is that how desperate we have become?
I'm glad we had this discussion tonight. If you're damned if you do, right? We've been doing the same thing, playbook. We shall overcome for 55 years, right? Now some people say, something, let's take a chance with Trump. Maybe I'm fortunate. Now we're getting beat over the head because people tell us he's a white supremacist, man. We can't do nothing. We can't win for losing.
It's not because they tell you. He is telling you himself. Are you going to lay down your head for somebody with an axe that is wanting to chop your head off?
He's giving us $500 billion, bro.
Well, hey, let me say this about the Trump platinum.
Because he wants you to put your neck on the line. What do you think those people want to do? His supporters want to do to you? You think they want him to help you? They don't want him to help you.
Let me ask you a question. Your brother Will Fungo says that black people scrubs were fucking up this, that, and the other. We gotta just do something, Carl. Do something, right? And I said, okay, well, since we're not in any position to leave and build a nation, which was the ideal thing, right? Like we did 200 years ago, right? So some black people say, you know something, maybe we could take our brides with Trump. Now we get beat for that. Like both of you guys are hitting me from both sides. He's hitting me from one side of the head. You're hitting me from the other side of the head. I'm getting punch drunk.
Let me make my position clear. All I'm saying is that we need to make a hostile environment for criminals and fuck ups. That's how Asians are successful, because they shame their failures in their group. Black people don't do that, and that's why the failures have come to be our representation in the United States.
Hey, I have to disagree with that, bro. The bottom line is this: this is true story, right? True story. Just overnight after the Million Man March, right? It was like the year leading up to the Million Man March, right? 2 years after the LA riots, 1994. America said, you know something, like Wise Intelligence. Google Wise Intelligence from Poor Righteous. He broke this down. Chuck D broke this down, everything. Something happened in black culture. We've always had gangster rap and all that. It was always on the margins, right? But guess what? You know, when it came down to respond to what happened with Tasha Harlan, black people was on code. Boom, boom. We're on code. We're gonna wreck this shit. Fuck this, you know. And so therefore they said, well, if this music had, and Tupac was like, yo, man, we wrecking shit good. They said, we gotta get rid of that nigga. And two, they said, look, why do we turn hip hop into something talking about materialism? Let's start a beef between the East Coast and the West Coast. Let's start all this nonsense about glorifying drugs. And I never in my life, right? I swear to God, right? When Bad Boy signed Biggie Smalls, I know a lot of people like Biggie Smalls and everything, right? Bad Boy signed Biggie Smalls, right? And they openly start talking about dope game and stuff like that, dope and killing and murder and stuff like that. And that was played. I was like, wait a minute. I thought to myself, well, maybe there's a moral to it. He's trying to no, this guy was talking allegorically. He said, well, murder, killing, I'll kill you, I'll shoot you, kill you, and stuff like that. It wasn't talking like KRS-One when he's talking in the third person.
Hey, listen, when Marilyn Manson and those white artists started putting out screamo and toxic school shooter music.
Let me finish, because you don't know anything about this culture. The right overnight, right? All the rappers like J. Rue the Damager and all the people that was thinking positive stuff and everything, Poor Righteous Teacher, Brand New, and X-Clan, they all disappeared. Everything on in the cycle of MTV, and that was a new thing, MTV and BET and everything, you had to have a gold chain, flashing cars, guns, gats, crystal, all that. That's what and that has not changed in the last 26 years. You know, girls, booty, all stuff like that. That's what they changed the culture. Right?
Look, music is decentralized now. You don't have to always go through Universal Records to get into the music game. There's plenty of black-owned labels. Yes, the culture. You can't even take accountability for your own culture. That's the problem.
Yo, let me tell you something, bro. You missed the point. We don't control it. You know, these are white.
How can you say that you don't control your own culture? That makes no sense. It's your culture. You control it.
Culture, man. You don't know anything about black African Americans. Hip hop was a street culture, a genre. That's not our culture. That's the popular culture that kids follow.
And Willie, some of the language you are using is not. It's not advised at all. You are using, you are calling people infantile and saying we don't. We actually, exactly. Actually, when you think about it now, so you see some of the language you are using, you don't know how patronizing it sounds. You can't just assume because you met some people in one part of America and you just attribute it to a whole group of people like that. That is just not proper. Think about it.
I believe in creating a hostile environment for failures. I believe in that. I'm not going to change my language. I'm going to tell it as
I believe in accountability too, but there's language. Language matters, mister.
Look, no, I'm going to tell it as it is. I don't know why some Africans are so hung up on this respect.
Because language matters. Excuse me. I'm not going to let this go, because when you say words don't matter, that is a big mistake. It's a scientific fact. It does matter.
So we're talking about our feelings. We're talking about our feelings now, right?
No, it's not about feelings, because you are saying it in front of everybody else. They will hear it and think this is how black people think of themselves. What else do you expect them to say about black people when a black person is saying it like that?
Listen, I'm not here worried about what white people think of me.
You
I'm far
obviously do.
beyond
But they will do something.
How
Just think of it.
so? How so, Kala? Please tell me. How am I doing this for white people? Please tell me.
Because I know. Let me tell you something about white people. Let me tell you something about white people. Somebody who knows them really well, right? They know this whole game. They know black people like all this stuff like that. You're worried about image in front of white people, right? Because that's what it's all about.
Dude, Kala, we cannot even live in our own neighborhood without getting shot. What are you talking about?
Let me say this right. Let me say this right, and we're gonna put you at ease. I'm gonna let you have some sleep tonight, right? I remember it was back in '99. I was down in Orlando, Florida. I was down in Polk County. I was there on vacation, so I stayed in Polk County. So in Dundee, Florida, I went into this record mall, right? It was a record store, right? And I seen these blonde Floridian kids with a whole bunch of them in this record store, right? And they were buying rappers I'd never heard of. Killer this, killer that. Oh, mommy, give me this one. Rappers that you probably they were completely marketed to white America, and it was like, I murdered this, I got this death count and everything. Motherfucker look like satanic shit, you know? And that the bottom line is this though. White people know this is all bull. White people are stupid, right? They know what they did to real rap. They didn't want to hear KRS-One. They didn't want to hear Rakim. They didn't want to hear Big Daddy Kane. They didn't want to hear 5% ideology and stuff like that. They want to hear this gangster stuff because they knew it was.
Bro, you are literally just making excuses. Go to any nightclub in Atlanta. Go to Magic
City. People put the money behind this garbage music for a generation, and they're gonna keep doing it.
Look, go to Magic City in Atlanta. Everything they're playing is independent. White people are not producing that music.
But it goes on their platforms. All these streaming services. Who do you think how it gets out there?
It's SoundCloud is a platform. People can put what they want on there.
But SoundCloud's owned by who?
Yeah, but they don't influence the content that's being created.
YouTube is owned by who?
Pandora owned by who? It's owned by Google. They don't force us to make negative content.
Bottom line is this: in their algorithms, everything like that, all white people see is the dollar sign. If it's generating revenue, it's going to keep going. That's the trap we're in. So we don't have any control over what people do. Like this, all this nonsense with Cardi B. All the fans only girls are making. I see one girl, she's making like $10,000-$15,000 a day on fans only. We can't stop that. It's that also damaging young girls getting into all this nonsense on pornography and all this kind of nonsense. And the boys are selling the gangster rap and tapes and mixtapes. And the bottom line, it's a mess. But you have to believe that the majority of African Americans are on the straight and narrow.
Okay, let me take back what I said about it being the vast majority. I don't know. I can only speak from my own personal experience. So I'm actually going to take that back. That might have been an inappropriate thing to say. I'll take that back.
Call in.
Oh, all right, thank you. See, let me give you some facts that has been found from research. There was this test that was done, just one page of a story that was read. They gave a group of 10 people, one page of the script to read, and they gave a second group another page to read. The only difference in the script they are reading, just one page, is one of the group has a script with stories written with we as a pronoun. That they have we, they, us as a pronoun. Then the second group has a script written as in I, me. What happened? Then they said, okay, finish reading these scripts and then let's go and carry out this exercise. After both groups finished reading the scripts, then they went on this exercise. They said, okay, what if a member of your group is at risk and you had to sacrifice your life to save that group? The group that read the script that says me and I, 30% of them were willing to sacrifice their lives for that group. While the other group that read is just one page that says we, they, guess the percentage that were willing to sacrifice their lives? 90. This is why words matter. One page can reprogram a human being.
Okay, but we have a bad habit of always trying to protect our feelings instead of facing harsh realities. That's a big problem with us in Black America and Africa too. I understand what you're saying about words matter, and honestly, I was probably exaggerating a little bit with what I said. I'll admit,
Very.
but like if you look at the situation, are you familiar with Art Cathy?
Yes, I am.
No,
Very familiar.
Tunija. Are you familiar with Art Cathy?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Yeah, that. Everything she said is spot on about Africans. Everything. But I bet someone like you would be caught up in the language she's using. But the bigger problem is the way the Gambians are behaving, the scamming and all of it.
Oh,
See,
see,
see, this is what people
So
don't
it's not just
understand.
Black America.
See,
Everybody can get it.
hey, let me ask you a question, Willie. Do you
Brother, you
really
can't.
want to see? You really want to see what
people
happens
don't
if Black
understand.
people say they've had enough? And like what you said is revolution. What you're talking about is a revolution. You don't want to. You don't want to see that. You don't.
No, I'm just talking about
And
us
you don't want
looking
to. So you don't want
inward
to see. You don't want
and
to see
building.
if the Gambians get it. When the Gambians are trying to be peaceful, they're trying to get along the best way they can. And I understand all the problems and everything. But if the Gambians said, you know something, we're gonna do all the stuff that our captain says. There's gonna be blood flowing through the streets of Gambia and whatnot. And it's gonna spread beyond. That's what you're talking about. So don't look at people. People are trying to adjust the way it is. The bottom line, there's never been a major race war in this country between blacks and whites. You
Look,
know,
I'm
and the
not
bottom,
talking about all this. I'm
well,
not. That's
bro,
not
but
what I'm
that's what,
talking
yo,
about.
bro. The bottom line is the only thing that's gonna really overturn this system is a violent overthrow
No,
of
that
the
I don't.
system, man.
I completely disagree. We can do what the Koreans do,
Oh yeah, we've
what
been
the
doing that for
Japanese
55
do,
years,
and
brother.
look inward, control our people, and stop
Yeah,
letting
yeah.
the lowest common denominator of our people control the
Well, let me
masses.
ask you a question. Okay, let's take Dynasty Search for a Huru platform for it. Thing.
Hey, Kayla,
All right, hold on,
let me
hold on.
get
Let me ask
after
you,
you,
Willie.
bro.
Let me ask you this one question, right? One question, right? Are you on Dynasty Show when he has Brother Fitzgerald on in his
I've
episode?
watched almost every single episode.
All good for you. But the majority of people are not on when Brother Fitzgerald on. They're on with me and several other people on, whatever like that, because they feel like they're getting entertained, you know? But this guy has valuable information and everything. Like that's the mentality, right? So the whole thing is this: you go to any YouTube channel, Dynasty's channel, right? Should have Dynasty with all the stuff he does, right? Should have like 1 million subscribers. He doesn't, right? So therefore, let's not when the people start changing, right? Then you'll see the circumstances changing. The mentality of black people is about foolishness, and
What?
that's all of it. Don't blame just one segment, because there's not the people that's buying all this stuff. And like, I'm seeing men in their 50s out there with their big cars, the same stupid music all the time, and everything like that nonsense and everything. And so they got good jobs. And listen, has no elephant in the room. There's a lot of black people that got nice houses, got $1 million homes that are fucking up just as much as the people that are poor. You know,
Yeah.
so this idea, let's look down on the poor because they don't have the resources. Is disingenuous.
It's not that they don't have the resources; it's their spending
No, but
habits.
hold on, but what you're doing is you want to attack the poor. You know, the
Hey,
black people up
Kayla, can
top
I
are
get in
fucking
right
up
quick?
just as much as the poor people on the bottom.
Okay, Nicholas, go ahead, Nicholas.
All right, so Willie, I completely understand what you're saying, but really, like, you're trying to have a one-dimensional conversation, when it's not a one-dimensional situation. But first thing first, let's debunk some of these things. So a lot of us aren't aware that black men have actually been excelling a lot in their academics, and I have the statistics here. Everybody that's watching, you can check this out for yourself, and on black demographics. So you have less than high school diploma, right? There, we're doing pretty bad. It's about what, 15%, all men 12%, right? Had high school graduates, we're actually above average, 35%, all men 28%. Some college or no degree, 23%. We're above average. Average is 20%. This is where I say we need to improve on. So associates is about 7%, all men 8%. Bachelor's is 12%, all men 20%. Things like that. So that's where it's a drop off. For overall, we've increased dramatically. More than 50% of there's more black men in college today than there were like 5, 10 years ago. Actually, there's more black men in college than there are in jail. You know, all both of those are true. Now back to the whole, the whole hip hop and the whole dynamic of it. Kella is right. When it comes to dealing with the U.S. government, we have to cross all of our T's. Cause fact, the U.S. government at one point was writing fake letters to members, well, to the wives of the Black Panthers, members of, the guys that are part of Black Panther. They would write fake letters showing that they were cheating when actually they were not, just to create that atmosphere of dysfunction in their own homes and just to throw off the whole movement. All right. So in the rise of gangster rap, we all know NW and the NWA came out talking about fight the power, right? And then they started getting a lot of heat. There was a whole Rodney King riot and all that. They started getting a lot of heat from the guys. They started being what's the word for it? Being targeted, right? And then they had a manager, a Jewish guy at the time, Jerry.
Jerry Heller.
There you
Keller.
go. There
Yeah.
it is. And he said, we need a new sound. He said we need a new sound. And that's when, our boy Easy E came, with the slap, bitches this, bitch that, whatever, right? But during that time, right when gangster rap was brand spanking new, right? All the big time companies, guys who were into hip hop, they purchased all the distribution companies. That's how they control hip hop. So
Yeah.
then everybody started scratching their heads because NWA, they were big, but they were not that big, and yet they already have like 2 million albums already
Right,
printed,
right. I
ready
remember
to
that.
be sold. And everybody's like, what the heck is going on here? You see? So all this has to be taken into consideration. Yes, you're right. We have to have some accountability. But at the end of the day, why is the U.S. government meddling in normal day every people's affairs? You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, just like
Hey,
Alex
listen,
said,
you already know why they're doing it. We
oh no,
already
You keep
but
making
you got to put it in
excuses,
context.
Willie.
Let me finish. You got to put it in context. It takes just about what 20 years to indoctrinate a nation. After that, whatever false information is out there, the job is gonna be done. It's gonna do its stuff. It's gonna be like a domino effect. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
So once we've accepted all this stuff you guys are talking about, what do we do next?
We're already
Because
doing it. I
We're
just told
doing it
you,
right now.
black
Dynasty
men
Media. That's why
are
we have
there are more
Dynasty
black men
Media.
in college, but a lot of us tend to have a lot of negative, information in front of us because the mind works that way. Our mind is attracted to negative information, right? And now we're dealing with technology and we're dealing with algorithm, right? Whatever you engage in the most or you look at the most, which is probably negative. I'm telling you, a lot of people,
Yeah.
that's why depression, all that stuff is going up because we're looking at negativity. We are doing better than we think.
Yeah.
That's true, and Diners does feature a lot of successful businesses and entrepreneurs, but it doesn't get as much viewers as controversial topics like this.
Yeah.
But there are a lot
I'm
of good
on
things
everybody.
happening there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
even there's that stigma that's going around that black women make more than black men on
That's
average,
not true.
which is true. It is,
No. Let me say
but
something. Let me say something.
educated, when we're
Let me
both
say this, right?
educated, we make more money. That's what I want to say.
Check this out. Let me say this. There was a statistic came out and said 10% of black men are in the top 5%. And those black women have more degrees, right? But when it
Yeah,
comes down to money, because a lot of black women have a lot of debt, college loans, everything. Black men, as far as like wealth and everything like that, 10% of black men are in the they said 10% of black men, women, 10% of black men are in the top 5% of
yeah, they're
the
making six figures and up. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
people
well, if
love.
everything's so good, then why leave?
it's not
Because
so
you guys
good,
are
No, we
painting a
want to
very
transfer this money.
rosy
Hold on, we want to
picture
transfer this
of
money
Black
out of
America.
here. But hold
Willie.
on, you see,
Willie,
understand though. You understand something. This is what I'm saying. When people are disingenuous, right? Do you know how much money Mexico takes out of the United States? Mexico take out of America and send to Mexico for safekeeping. Where does
Go.
our money go? Do we have any offshore banks on the African continent that we can send money to and grow? No, no one's even thought of that. We have platform after platform. Hey, where's our black bank? Why can't we open up branch offices in Accra, Lagos, and all throughout the continent to put money through? They can build infrastructure, and we could.
That's a good question. Why don't you do
Well,
it?
the bottom line is, hold up. The bottom, you said that's a good question. That's when the African brother is supposed to come over here and say, "Ha ha, I got an idea." But you guys want to put it all on us. Well,
No, listen, dude. Nigeria has a Zenith Bank makes 500
yeah, but the bottom line,
million
that
in
bank
profit
is corrupt.
every
They're
year.
not gonna lose money in the Zenith Bank. Nigeria got to get its stuff together. When they'll take it,
Zenith Bank makes
misappropriating funds.
500 million a
You know about
year.
the Zenith
The
Bank,
biggest
bro.
African American bank only makes 5, and there's only 2. There's at least 10 major Nigerian banks. So
Well, we just had a
I'm just
merger
hearing
between. We just had a merger between 2 African American banks and put $1 billion in assets and everything like that. And also,
look at their profit. It's like 5. I looked this up this
yeah,
morning.
but hold
The
on.
profit
I know
is
you
only
like you look
5
at
million a year.
statistics, but the
The
thing is,
hold on, Will, you got some of the link. The profit's only what?
5 million a year annual
where do you
profit.
get these stuff from? You get this out of your cereal box, Willie?
One United, I believe its name is. Let me look it up.
A
real
lot
quick.
of black banks are failing, but like I said, the whole thing is though, black people, we don't control this country. You know,
But Kyle, you
amazing that we have.
Kyle, you can't hate on the Nigerian banks though, because Nigerian banks, GT Bank, you have UBA, they're all over the continent. It would make
I know.
sense
They're over the country. I'm not
partner.
like Nigerian banks and everything, but you gotta understand something. When you have a government behind you,
You have
and
Access Bank as
assets
well.
and stuff like that. You know, we don't have that in America. Every time you have a black bank, the white banks are coming in trying to do all kinds of stuff to take
One
you out.
United.
You know?
One United Bank is the biggest African American bank. It made 3.6 million in profits in 2019.
That's enough.
That same year, Zenith Bank made 500 million. Access Bank made 400 million, and that's just 2. So I mean, I really just cannot listen to all these.
Let me ask you a question. Let me
ask you
a question. What kind of banking services do the Nigerian banks go? Can you get a mortgage out of a Nigerian bank?
You can get a mortgage. Interest rate is extremely high.
Okay,
like
why is that? Why is that?
The mortgage industry is not well developed.
Hold on. You just said like if you got a bank, right, which is backed up by oil money. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? And the government also subsidizes these banks and stuff like short them up, and they always go into government money when they have windfalls and shorts and everything like that. Why don't they have a mortgage system? You know.
Well, let me tell you this: the founder of Zenith Bank, Jim Avia, went to Texas A&M. He was a Nigerian who came to America. Then he went back and made his bank.
Lower the volume.
Carla, the system is not fully developed yet. That's why they have
not.
Hold
on. Now, let's say something. Let me say something right here. You say the system, but you guys control that system, right? You want us to succeed in the system we don't control, and you guys are saying your system that you do control is not developed.
See, so you are generalizing.
It's not you guys, Carla.
Have to
It's
do
just
it
Willie.
in America too.
I got you, Naja. It's just Willie.
Yeah, it's.
But you guys want so much out of us, and we're not the ones in power here. You guys are in power, and
what I'm telling you to do is stop making excuses. Because if you're making excuses, you never move forward. That's
all
the
these things are going to happen.
Making excuses. You
See,
guys
all the things you are talking about, Carla.
You guys live in America, right?
Yes.
You guys live in America under this infrastructure of white man's infrastructure, right? You know, we were born here. You know, we generations here. You guys chose to come here and whatnot, and your countries are failing at basic stuff. You know, Nigeria has the largest poverty rate in the world.
That's northern Nigeria, by the way.
No, that's not. It's still Nigeria.
That's because of northern Nigeria. That's because of north. If you separated northern Nigeria, the poverty rate would drop dramatically. Those are not even our people.
I know. If you just separate Lagos, the rest
Willie,
of Nigeria.
come on.
I believe in splitting Nigeria, 100%.
See, you are talking about United Africa, but you want to split in Nigeria.
Whenever I talk about United Africa.
Okay, then why are you here? By the way, you're just.
I support repatriation.
I don't get it. What is your point?
Hey, Nigel, you're breaking up.
I support.
I was gonna say though, I have my this is my UBA bank, my UBA app on my phone. I love it. I love my United Bank of Africa app. I love it. My UBA app. I absolutely love it.
Hey, how does that work, Nigel? Is that like
How can you say that Nigeria is working?
Is it international?
The police are just running around killing people for having laptops. That comes from the north. All this dysfunction in Nigeria comes from the north. The
Willie,
philanthropy.
I can't let you just go on saying stuff like that. That
Brother,
is,
like,
man, that
True.
level of ignorance is scary. Come on.
It's true.
You're
Listen,
supposed
listen,
Yeah,
Willie,
but let's get back on topic. Lou Major, go ahead, bro.
First of all, how's everybody doing today?
Everybody doing well.
doing well.
Prince, did you want to go ahead and do your disclaimer?
Now go ahead, Lou. Go ahead. You good, bro? Go ahead.
You know, I do think that what I'm seeing here, man, and I'm hearing from here, you know, Willie, I understand your perspective. I think that I do understand the concept of accountability for Black Americans, and I think people have been telling Black America for a long time to be more self-reliant and be more accountable. What I do think, you know, what I would like to know, Kala, is why do you think the message of, hey, you know, take responsibility for yourself, build for yourself, why is that so repugnant to Black America when somebody says that to them?
Well,
I'd actually like to know it from your perspective.
Oh, let me answer that. First of all, it's really patriotic. What do you say collectively, or are you talking about as a person, as an individual?
Obviously, collectively. Obviously, collectively, Black people in America.
Okay, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Stop you right there. Black people in America, if you study African American history, we've never been a collective. We've always been individuals. There's certain people try to put us together, Nation of Islam, the Garvey movement, everything. But Black people in America, in the church, whatever, if you're a church, cults and everything, you got a collective. There's no such thing as a collective Black America. Let's start with that.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then again, that brings back the previous question, Kala. I think what a lot of people, you know, somebody like Willie, who may not have said it as best as he should have, but I understand what he's trying to say. I think a lot of people look at Black America and say, why can't Black America start working together and build something for themselves? Why, when someone says that to Black America, it's repugnant?
Okay,
Wait, hold up. Let me finish the statement. I'm going to probably let you talk mostly because I'm here just to ask questions. Because here's the deal. What I'm noticing is whenever that's said, there's this visceral reaction, defensiveness, and it seems to be repugnant. So what I want to know is, why is someone stating the obvious so repugnant? Why?
All right. Now, first of all, would you listen to the top of the show, Lou?
Yeah, I'm listening to the whole show.
Did you listen to the whole show?
Answer the question, man.
No, hold on.
I'm just asking, Kala. I'm not asking. I'm not trying to.
Hold on, Willie. I'll get to you in a second, right? Now, in the first of the show, if you go back and listen, I was saying all those things. We need to do this. We need to do that, and everything like that. Okay. And I was chastising our people, and out of love. I say it in love, right? I say
again, but Kala, focus on the question. Why, when someone else says it, is it so repugnant?
In a respectful way, you know. But what I'm saying is this, though. This is what I'm saying, right? I understand that there's circumstances that we can't, things we can't do. There's things we want to do, right? Like I said, I tell people all the time. I meet African Americans all the time, right? And there's like this striving. Yeah, how's that thing come? I'm working on it, you know. And they never get that loan. That project they were trying to get off the ground, the money, the funds never come through. You know.
Okay. Again, Kala.
So therefore, and these are good, decent people. Now, but hold up. Now, what you're saying,
Dinus, please control the show here.
Beat them over the head because they're not successful. They not be successful.
That's not what I said, Kala. I'm asking you to focus on the question that I just asked you, which is, why is it that when other people, Black people, okay, I understand if a white person says that, I get it. But why is it when other Black people say, why can't Black people focus on working together and building for themselves? So, for example, what you just said, honestly, to be honest with you, kind of proves Willie's point, which is you're saying, well, I know guys who have been working on something, but they can't get that loan.
That's not the whole thing. I know a lot of people that are successful too, but nobody ever talks about
that. But Kala, that's not what we're talking about here. I need you to focus on what I'm asking.
The conversation was about you Willie's talking about, he made a generalization. He said 70% of Black people, which is a lie. We know it's not that. There's a lot of Black people who are succeeding in America, but the whole thing is this: we don't want to have a conversation about the black people who are winning. All we want to do is talk about the losing.
Okay, but you want to focus on individual
let me ask you a
success.
question, right? Hold up. When the two major black nations merge together, are we celebrating that? Do I see it all over the internet? No. There's an African American group.
Carla, I need you to understand that you're obfuscating what everyone is saying.
About is black people fucking
Dynasty,
up.
please control the show.
Okay, Lou. Okay, here we go. Lou, ask your question again.
Carla. I got it. I can answer that.
No. Hold on, Nicholas. Lou Major, ask your question one more time. Carla, just please answer it. All right, go ahead, Lou Major.
Okay, again, what you're doing here is you're focusing on individual success, and what I feel like you're saying is, why can't we go ahead and focus on the individual wins? But what I think somebody like say Willie, and Willie, please tell me if I'm illustrating your point correct here, and because I certainly feel that way, is we know that there are individual successes. What we're saying is that as a group, as a collective, we are failing, and we are failing because we refuse to collectively, that means working together to build something for ourselves. So why is it when people say, black folks, why won't you just build for yourself?
Okay, let me answer
collectively. Why is that so repugnant to black people when they hear that?
Let me answer why, because it's a disingenuous question, right? We have 160 black colleges in America. Is that building for ourselves or not?
Okay, Carla, I'm actually glad. No, Willie, be quiet for a second.
You said
Carla, I'm actually glad you said that. Wait, Carla, you asked me a question. Let me comment. I'm actually glad you brought that up. We do have 160 black colleges.
And
we also
used to have the best minds in the world.
Hold up, Carla. We also used to have 2,000. Why do we only? We used to have close to 1,000. We at one point had close to 1,000 HBCUs in America.
What was this? I don't remember this.
At our peak, before integration. But Carla, can I, if I can say this, a lot of those HBCUs that we do have are dependent on what? How do they get their funding? Carla, the question. Carla, okay, so we have these HBCUs, but they're being supported by non-black people.
Right.
Why? Because black people.
Because let me tell you.
University.
Lou, let me tell you.
Carla, wait. You need to understand that even with the examples that you're using, is actually supporting Willie's point, which is. Carla, please, you gotta. Let's be fruitful here. What you're saying, but the fact that there's 160 black HBCUs and they're all dependent on white governments to support them because black people won't fund them only further proves the point of, well, there's a collective problem here. There's a collective.
I tell you, there is no collective.
The problem is
that's the problem, Paula. That's the actual problem.
That's the answer to the riddle. There is no collective. It's a conundrum. There is no collective.
Okay, well, first, hold up, Carla. Then that's the problem.
The only people that see us as a collective are white racists. They say, do this. There's no collective.
Okay, so you're saying to me that the reason that it's repugnant when people try to tell black folks.
I don't think it's repugnant. Hey, it's silly.
Oh, repugnant means silly.
No, repugnant means you just repulsed by it. Most black people look at that.
No, that's repugnant. Other, right? That statement was repugnant. Means that statement was stupid or silly.
But let me get back to your point. Let me get back to your point.
Okay, but again, I think Carla, let me get a word in edgewise. I think what you're saying is the reason that is seen as, I'll use your word, silly, is because there is no black collective.
Right. There never was.
Okay, so have you ever considered that what somebody like Willie is saying is that's the problem?
Okay, let's say he's right. That's the problem, right? That's the problem.
Okay, so why is it offensive? Wait, Carla, let me get a word in. It's all you. Let me get this in, and then it's all you. Carla, let me get this in, and it's all you. So why is it a problem then, Carla, when somebody is saying, it's simply pointing out the problem, which is, hey, there is a collective that are operating as one.
I would like to jump in, Dynas, if I may.
Hold. I gotta answer that. Give me a couple seconds and I'll be quiet, right? Okay, quiet. All right, now
sure.
the differences between black colleges and white colleges, like when you see the University of Missouri, you see the manifestation of the state of Missouri. Any university, Berkeley and everything, you see what they produce. They're going to society. Black colleges, like if you look at what's the name, Whitney Irving Young, and stuff like that. You go back to the 60s, right? White people never took black education seriously. We were never allowed to build. Most black colleges were just entry-level jobs where you're dealing with black people, right? This idea that black colleges are going to do the same jobs as white colleges is a farce, right? So Howard, right? Look at Howard and look at DC, right? Failure. Baltimore area, a failure, right? Look at any other black college or whatnot, and you see the surrounding area. You don't see any manifestation. So what do we send black kids to college for? What are they going to school for the most part? Not engineering, not science, not the building thing. Why? Because they know those are white people's jobs. Do you understand we still live in white America? It ain't like you got, when you graduate from college, you got all this vast stuff.
Carla, are you listening to what you're saying? Carla, I need you to take a minute to listen to what you just said.
And that's why they had affirmative action.
No,
Okay, Dinus, I don't think Carla, I don't think Carla.
Hold on, Lou Major. Hold on, guys. But Carla, bro, like, you know I love you, but you're proving Willie a lose point now.
So in other words, basically, let me ask you a question, right? When they basically, in the 60s, right, in the 70s, right, black people talked about the glass ceiling. We can't get into these positions and whatnot. We did all this stuff like that. So therefore, you pay all this money for college and everything, and you can't get a job. You know, I knew people like that. They can never get a job in the field that they.
Okay, Dinus, help Carla out here.
For the most
help Carla out here, man.
You're like, so then what's the solution, Carla?
Oh, like I said, look.
Well, we doing the solution.
Look, let me say this, Dinus, man. People didn't want to listen to one man named Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And they started making it. Now all these people, like Lou Major, is telling us that we should have freaking bum rushed white America with integration, and we're sitting there saying, "Okay."
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that.
How you gonna build anything? How you gonna build anything without any infrastructure? Who controls the infrastructure? Who controls all the shit? We don't. We can just give ourselves jobs and everything.
So this brings me to one of the best universities in America is the University of Yeshiva, which is a Jewish university and a privately held university. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying to Jewish people and saying Massachusetts have Brookline and Sharon, amongst other
Jews
very prosperous communities.
You understand that, Lou? Jews are white.
Okay, so you're saying, okay, bro, listen to what you're saying, bro. That shit.
Right,
how is that? I mean, do you understand how offensive that is? You are literally saying, you sound like a computer. You're saying that we can't build anything ourselves.
Jews. We can't go white. We
could build ourselves.
Jews
we don't have
part of white America, man.
Okay, so let's say, dude, listen to what you're saying.
You're literally talking like a slave.
That is
no, you guys can't just ignore.
Hold on. No, hold on. But Kyla, then why do we keep having these discussions about Liberia, about men who decide to take on their own destiny?
Oh, no, that's what I said. Nobody wants to talk about that. Y'all said that was the answer right there, but nobody wants to talk about that, you know?
Listen, Black America in its current form will not succeed in Africa. You have to be viciously self-reliant and self-accountable. You cannot make any excuses if you want to succeed in business or anything else. Right now, you're talking like the victimhood mentality, an enslaved person, to be honest. Someone always has to do something for you or let you do something. No, if you want something, you just do it. You work.
That's what. And so no, Carla. Why is that?
Bro, you guys aren't telling us nothing we don't know, bro. We know that.
Deal with the Klan and bombing.
Okay, so Carla.
Now after the coast is clear, tomorrow. Oh, hindsight, you should have done.
Can I say something?
With that shit.
No one is saying hindsight. We're saying right now.
Mufasa, go ahead, Mufasa.
Yeah, well, the original reason I called in was because Willie told Kala that there's black in these independent radio stations all over the place. Kala he corrected him because they're not black owned. They may be black targeted. What I wanted to point out was that, Willie, you're falling for the okie doke. I wanted to use your specific example of the music. You said the music that's coming out is independent. Now, if you don't know our story and our culture and our history and how America works, you think that's true. But the reality is, there's no artist that you can name that's not on a major label as far as distribution, right? The way the industry works, you have a record label where the label just finds its talent and produces the music, but the money is in the distribution of the companies.
Couldn't explain Chance the Rapper, Mufasa.
Say that again.
Okay, so explain Chance the Rapper. Or
Chance the Rapper, the guy that came out on Apple with on the front page of Apple with an exclusive deal to them, the biggest DSP on the planet.
Yeah, but you have to understand that he owns. Wait, Mufasa, I'm actually glad you said that. He made the agreement and made the decision to sign with Apple because it is in fact the biggest deal in the world, similar to how Seth Rogen just signed a $100 million deal with Spotify because he was the owner of his content. He owned his brand. He owns all of his stuff. He came out completely independent, and he chose to work with Apple because they're paying him as you just said,
but by that logic, all rappers are independent contractors. By that logic, right? We all made a choice to make a deal.
They don't own their content. They choose to be employees of the labels now. They make that decision.
This is the point. The reason I brought up Apple with the Chance the Rapper thing is because recently there was a Joe, what's his name? Joe Budden. He had issues at Spotify. The reason he had issues at Spotify, he's an independent contractor. He's completely independent. But all of the distribution, white people have a monopoly on the distribution. So in order to get billions of dollars and multiple millions of dollars put behind your stuff and have it pushed everywhere, you have to deal with white people. So with them having that monopoly,
Mufasa, that is the whole point. No, I hear what you're saying, and I know what the skill you're about to give. But the whole point of what Willie is saying, and even what I'm saying is,
Willie was just incorrect. That's what we need to deal with.
Mufasa, the reason that is the case is because of the fact that we as Black people choose to not collectively work together to build our own distribution networks. So if you create
but what I'm saying is, if Black people tried as hard as they could and they had the right mentality and everything with the things that recently just happened, like within decades from now, they would not have the capital that Universal Music Group has. They would not have the capital that Sony Entertainment has.
No, they wouldn't have
Warner
the capital.
Brothers. That's not possible, bro.
Bro, stop it, man. You sound like a punk. Do you understand that Jews built Hollywood?
Lou, I know you like to come on and disrespect people, but bro, just leave the name calling out of it, bro. Let's
I said you sound. I didn't say you were, but let's go ahead and make that clear. But I'm
let's
saying
not do that. Let's talk.
Okay. So the Jews.
Let me ask Lou Major a question.
No. But this is
I don't understand this. I don't understand this shit. Like,
but this is the question.
No, but this is the question. I'm gonna mute you. But this is the question. Where's the $2 trillion spending power?
It doesn't.
That's a lie. That's a lie, bro. That's a lie. Like literally on that, I know has become is worth $100 billion. And if you were to ask him directly, he would tell you that a majority of his wealth comes from Black America. And bro, the reason that Black people are broke is because the Black dollar on average stays in the Black community for 6 hours. Now who's causing that? That's not.
No, listen, Lou. We're here to acknowledge that, bro.
That anymore because Black people are sending money, billions of dollars to each other through Cash App and stuff like that. We're buying stuff online or through e-commerce, so that's not the same thing. You're giving us 1975 talking points, bro. You know?
No, that's today. 1975, the Black dollar stayed in the Black community longer.
You know what I'm saying? So you keep talking about a community. There is no damn community. They're all individuals. Some are winning, some are losing.
You understand that that's what really is saying.
Okay, but Lou, when you say that, you can't ignore the history that led to this.
There's no Santa Claus.
Okay, Mufasa, we can all agree that Black history is bad. What has happened to Black people is bad. No one can listen.
Okay, but brother, but you can't make it. Okay, when we talk about Universal Music Group versus this fake $2 trillion of spending power, which is not
Mufasa. You can't escape
capital that I can. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Mufasa, we are both men. Okay, we are both men.
Brother, just make your point, bro. Just make your point, my man. Come on, man.
Okay, you're saying, well, look, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this because this history happened. You're saying that you're sitting there saying because of all of this terrible stuff that has happened to me, I therefore can't do all these things. That's what you're saying, bro.
What I'm saying, bro, if I'm saying they just took the
Black
money like
America
it
is
just happened.
dysfunctional, bro.
It takes time to build a universal music group. You're not going to get $17 billion worth of revenue in a short period of time like that.
But
You
no
need the
one is
capital to
saying that
build
you
to
need
that.
to do that.
You are
What
saying
we're
that
saying
because
is-
you're saying, why aren't we in this position, bro? You know why?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, why don't we take the mindset of, you know what, instead of focusing on all the stuff that we can't do and don't have, why don't we take the mindset of, you know what, this is what we do have. We are going to collectively work together to build our own, starting from today.
So let me ask you a
past
question,
is the
Lou. Let me
past.
ask you a
You
question,
can't
Lou. You've been
change it.
rambling for a long time. I ain't getting
Bro,
this
that's the
far.
No,
mindset we
actually, I
have.
haven't.
Okay, but what I'm
Colin,
saying,
I
that is
haven't.
my
There's a
mindset.
lot
That's
of
the
black
mindset
people
we
doing
have.
that, but you don't
But you
highlight
can't, we're
those
not
But
gonna
that's
let you
not the
guys come
mindset.
on here.
Did
No,
you
we're not
just
gonna
listen to
let you
what
come
Colin said?
on here and make it and misrepresent our history and our situation and make it as if we just been sitting here doing nothing. Ignore all the
No. That's not what we're saying.
You know?
No one will. I don't think anybody, any rational person, is going to not acknowledge the history of Black people. And what I'm actually saying is, because of your history, Black people should be more keen on collectivism than anything else. Because one thing the history says, so, Kala, let me finish my thought. Let me actually finish my thought, Kala. What I'm saying is, if there's one thing that Black history in America shows you, is that you cannot trust or want to work with white people, because every single time they've ever tried to work with Black people, it has always been in an exploitative, manipulative, dishonest fashion. And so my thought is, considering your history, shouldn't Black people be more collective? Shouldn't Black people be more keen?
Well, what about all the Black people? We get screwed over by other Black people too, man. You know.
No, man, we can't do that. We can't do nothing.
No,
man.
I know, Lou Major, but I'm saying you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir. Lou, you're preaching to the choir, but the reality is they have all the capital. That's what it is.
Okay. Can I add something, please?
It's going to take time for us to contend with that.
Hello. Can I see, Kala? Can I just ask something quickly?
I've got a question for you.
Lou Major.
Go ahead. Who has a question for me? Go ahead.
Okay, Dynas. I've always been under the impression that your ultimate collective goal is two things: more investment in Africa and overall Black empowerment. Is that right?
That's
okay.
That's correct.
Okay. Does what you're hearing right now from your current guest sound empowering to you?
No, not at all. And that's why I'm disappointed right now. Not at all. I can't wait to get a CME on that.
No,
okay, and let me say it another way, Tyler. Let me say it another way. I'm asking Mr.
Look. You're gonna let me speak. Are you gonna let me?
This question. It's all yours. I promise. You have my word.
You've been saying that for 10 minutes, man. Come on.
No, because I'm not being allowed to actually ask my question. You keep cutting me off. So,
let me say this, Lou. I'm disappointed because I know for a fact I can't look Massa, my son, in the eye and say, son, I wasn't able to do anything because of slavery and the past and Jim Crow and the white man this.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm just tired of this excuses, bro.
But what I'm saying is, Dynas, do you expect to collectively pass up Black white people in the next like 20 years? Is that a realistic goal? Is that realistic? Is that realistic? Yes or no?
Can I point this out, Mufasa?
Yes or no?
Can I say something, Mufasa?
But the thing is, why can't we make that the goal? I just don't get it. What's stopping it?
Okay, well, if you think it's a realistic goal, that's fine.
Nobody's serious about
Mufasa, it is. But it is, though. Do you understand that 20 years ago, Mufasa, just 20 years ago, the Chinese were poorer than us? The Chinese.
Yeah, but it's disingenuous. Exactly. You know they had. Listen, I'm all for self accountability. I'm all for that. All I'm saying is you can do all it. Go ahead, Colin.
We have two Nigerians on this line, right? We have two Nigerians on the line, right? They should be our plug to Nigeria, right? Plug to Nigeria. Everybody wants Black America to come in and be like, you got three Nigerians. When the Black people who are doing things collectively are making it, nobody wants to talk about them. Why don't we get behind the people that's actually doing stuff and learn about them? There's Black people who are making it. Not individuals.
Okay, Tyler, you're focusing on individual success. We are talking about collectivism right now.
Let me tell you something. The radio show that I'm about to do after I get off here is a Black-owned radio platform, right? 130 stations.
That is an individual.
Hold on. It's individually owned, Black owned. You can listen
to
it, right?
That is an individual.
These are Black people who got money, got investments all over the damn world. They're doing the shit.
Okay, that
Don't
is
give
an
me this about
individual
what black
success
people aren't
story.
doing.
That's
Just because
great.
they're not on YouTube talking about it, but it don't mean it don't exist.
But that's not what we're saying, Carla. We're saying
You
to
just
you
got
that
to say, why
we
don't we
don't
do
know.
something?
I don't
There
think
are people doing it.
anybody.
I'm part of it.
Okay, Carla, there is not anybody, even a white supremacist, an actual racist, even Richard Spencer would not deny that there is individual black success.
I don't care about what they got to say.
Okay, but we're not talking about individual black success.
No, when
We're
you talk
talking about collective black
collective,
success.
you get a government. We're not a government. We're not a nation. We're not a government.
Carla, I think both
crazy,
sides have the point. Let me just make this quick point, because I understand where Carla is coming from, saying Africans should assist, and then Lou Major is saying we should work collectively. I get that, but Carla, I think you are wrong when you say there is no community in the African American community. You guys go to
poverty and misery.
You go to the same church. There is a black in politics. See, excuse me. Can I finish? See, there are a lot of things that the black people have that is actually organized. Like we just talked about some banks. You attend the same churches. You have them in politics. They're actually organized. What you should be asking for is accountability from the ones that are in politics, because they pass bills all the time that you can get funding
we're back to
for your communities. See, excuse me, because that's how everything works.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Oh, if that is how they work,
that's how money is passed around the country
now for 55 years, and not a goddamn thing was done. Don't tell me about no collective.
That is because excuse me, because you are thinking that where you are right now, it cannot be worse. You see, your mistake is that where you are right now, you think you should be somewhere else. You don't know whether you are performing optimally. How do you know that?
Me personally, I have a business and I'm going to be fine. My life, my family's going to be fine. You know what I'm saying?
So, my point is, you need to take an overview of where you are, to just pretend as if you should just be somewhere because some magic should just happen and somebody should just get you somewhere. That's not how life works.
Take care of.
It could be worse right now. See, it could be worse, and I actually believe the fact that we are even talking about this, it tells you that there are signs that things are healing. And when we start using words like we don't have a community, I really disagree with that. There is Black American community. I know that it does exist.
But listen, all I'm saying is,
the election for Biden, for crying out loud.
No, all I'm saying is it takes time. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Okay, but Mufasa. Okay, you know what, Mufasa? I got a question for you. I got a question.
Lou, you said you gonna let me talk, right? Black people are first and foremost brainwashed to be Democrats, Christians, and black, like somewhere down 6 down the list. You know, that's the reality. We live in fear, and we
may be reality, but it's reality for everyone else. See, stop making it look like we are different. You forget that there is a world out there. We are not different.
Mufasa, I have a question for you.
This is our mentality.
Mufasa, let me ask you a question.
I'm here, bro.
Then we are voting.
Okay, what do you think is a reasonable? What do you think are reasonable goals for Black people over the next 5, 10, 15, and 20 years? I didn't ask you, Tyler.
In what sector? In what sector? I don't know. What do you mean?
Collectively, our collective economy when it comes to Black America. What would you say is realistic for Black America? Because before you answer that, I want to add some things that you should know. Black people, this is a fact, whether you want to accept it or not. Black people do, in fact, have $2 trillion of spending capacity.
Yeah,
that's
but
one. Wait. And Mufasa, another thing that's not being accounted for here is what Black people have in terms of social power. It is estimated that Black social power, that means the ability for Black people to create taste, right? So Black people are the taste makers of society, right? The value of the value of that right now is projected to be $17 trillion a year. So what that means is
a taste of what? Though? That's too broad, bro. A taste of what? A taste for music.
Hey, look at Kanye West.
Taste of what, man? What are you
look
talking
at
about?
Kanye West, for example. He made Yeezy, right?
Where do you get these stats from?
No. Let me get this in. Now I'm gonna drop some actual numbers because I'm the actual stock trader here, right? Did you know that the Yum Brands stock
No,
went
numbers
up?
from where? Numbers from where? You gotta
Yum
have
Brands
verified
stocks.
source.
Anybody can look this up.
Stuff. You're talking.
Anybody can look this up. Feel free. Yum Brand stock.
Look it up where? Look it up where? On the online? Somebody's bubblegum website, man. Come on.
Yahoo Finance.
Yum Brands is who owns McDonald's. Okay. Yum Brand stock went up by.
What exactly is he saying? What exactly is he saying?
Yo, bro, God, he got to let him finish, man. Let him finish. I want to hear this. Let him finish.
God damn. Yum Brand stock.
Go ahead,
went
Colin.
up by
I don't got all night, man.
The Yum Brand stock went up by 6% the day it was announced that Travis Scott was doing a deal with them to
Bingo.
represent them.
See, but again, this is you making the same. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Here's why that's important. Because a 6% increase in Yum Brand stocks, which is one of the most valuable companies in the world, is worth well over, I think, something like $1.5, $1.6 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That means Travis Scott is worth $1.5 trillion to Yum Brand. One guy. And because of that guy, by the way, his Travis Scott meal literally sold out when they started to have a supply problem because so many people went in there ordering the Travis Scott meal.
Oh, can I say something now?
So here's the deal. Wait, hold up. That means Travis Scott made a bunch of white people. Travis Scott made a bunch of white people $1.5 trillion. Now, what if Travis Scott used that same social power and instead of pushing McDonald's, he started pushing Black Tony's burgers and beer and beef?
Well,
some black person.
It wouldn't have the same worth.
Look, I got a better one for you.
Why wouldn't it? Do you think that increase?
When Carla's done, I will let you know.
Because of McDonald's
so
or
much
because
money,
of Travis Scott?
I mean, Nas made a whole bunch of money, more money in tech than he did music. Same thing with Jay-Z. We know all this, man. You're singing to the choir. What are you telling? You telling something new?
Okay, so if what you just said is true, then if what you're saying, I'm preaching to the choir. Now I'm preaching to
get into the tech industry and get rich, man. Stop
right
selling
now have the
fantasies,
power.
bro.
What fantasy? I just gave real numbers. These are real facts.
No, I can give you 10 more examples like that. What does that got to do?
Okay, so then you know what you just said? You know what you just said? That means that if black people wanted to, they could simply push their brands
if
and
black
build
people wanted to, we can make a lemonade stand.
Lou, brother, you sound ridiculous.
Make $1 billion, Lou.
Actually, no, I don't.
You do. I'm gonna tell you why.
Here's some evidence, bro.
No, you have evidence, but that's not proof.
Let me speak, please. No, let me speak, please. Because I actually have real numbers. Fubu's at its peak, was one of the top 5 selling clothing brands in the world. How did that happen? It literally stands for us, by us. It's about as black as you can get. Okay? How did it happen? It was the black social power that pushed Fubu in the hip hop community. That was also the case with Kyle Kanai, Sean John, Fat Farm, Infrarex.
Yo, look, black people are making money. Yo, bro, you singing to the choir. We know people can make money and do business, and they take care of themselves and everything. What does that got to do with you telling?
What that means is that collectively, black people have. Listen. Black people's $2 trillion of spending power is one thing, but the $17 trillion of social power, of social capital, is simply being given over to white people.
Disingenuous, right? He railed about.
How is this disingenuous? It's been done before.
And he just gave me 2 individual successes. That's individual.
No, I didn't give the individual successes. I literally just said to you. I was just told, well, you can't. I said, if black people use their social capital collectively, instead of pushing white companies, they started pushing black companies that would actually be a big boost to the overall collective black economy. As Mufasa said,
Lou Major, let me interject. Colin, what he's saying is, so basically Travis Scott made McDonald's richer.
Right.
Lou Major was saying, why couldn't Travis Scott push a black hamburger or meat brand? Mufasa said it wouldn't be successful. Lou Major said Damien John and Fubu, who started Fubu in Damien John's like mom's spare bedroom in Harlem or in New York somewhere, used Black Star Power for them to be one of the top brands on the planet. So I guess he was the
I wouldn't say that it wouldn't be successful. What I'm saying is it won't have the same value. You can't compare. McDonald's has like a multi-billion-dollar marketing budget, and they have a bunch of infrastructure, and they do their own. But you guys don't want to look at what's behind it. You just want to look on the surface level.
You're missing Lou Major's point. You're missing this point. FUBU was started in Damian John's mom's spare bedroom. They went to Music Says, LL Cool J, threw it on, and they blew up. And they became one of the largest brands on the planet.
The Black Star Power is the...
Bro, I've been the owner of $1 million black, 100% black company personally. Right now, I'm living that. I know that black people can succeed. Why are you guys making it like I'm saying black people can't succeed? I'm doing that.
Because you are saying that black people can't succeed.
I'm not saying that, bro. What I'm saying is...
Yeah, you are. Well, they have this. We don't have that.
You ain't McDonald's.
We're talking about the collective.
Think about that, man.
Black people successful. But let me say this, right? And I got to get ready to go. Check this out. In my office complex with my business, grand opening tomorrow, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Multi-million-dollar operation I'm building, right? Mostly black business here. We don't even speak to each other. So don't tell me about a collective. You know, then everybody coming by saying everybody in their own business, everybody doing their own thing.
Carla, do you understand that that's what we're saying?
Don't give me that collective crap.
The fact that there is a collective.
When you're not talking about money and when you're on YouTube talking nonsense, collective sounds good. When it comes down to actually pulling out dollars and cents, collective goes out the window. And I know that from doing business. So tell me nothing.
Oh, okay, bro.
Carla. Okay, wait a minute, Lou Major. Are you guys are trying to say that I'm saying a black business can't succeed?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Tell me something else. Tell me something new.
No, Mufasa, brother. I was just confused because when Lou brought up the point as far as Travis Scott, I guess, promoting a black-owned brand, it was shut down.
Okay, but just give me a second. I'll explain. Without getting cut off. What I'm saying is he used the boost that came in their company when they announced Travis Scott. What I'm saying is Travis Scott is on a major label being pushed and promoted and produced. He's the production of a major white corporation. Then another major white corporation rode on the success that they pushed him out there. So they use that to promote him. What Lou Major is trying to do is to an audience of people who don't understand business. He's making it seem as if just Travis Scott, just some dude off the street, could create 1.5 million in value or however much, and we're stupid because we're not doing the same thing.
Well,
you're not understanding there's millions and millions of dollars behind the brand of Travis Scott. It's more complicated than what you're trying to make it seem like.
My thing is, I was reading this book called Revolutionary Suicide. It's like we got to get started somewhere.
No, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. But when we getting started, bro, don't come down and beat us down and say Black Americans ain't this and that. Everything's independent, telling lies. You know what I mean? We doing that.
There are people doing it. How many black people have opened up a bank in a black freaking owned bank? You know, I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it. A black African American owned bank. None.
Yeah, I'm on One United.
Yeah, so why don't we do that? Have a black Killer Mike down in Atlanta open up a bank. Everybody's clowning the hell out of them. So don't tell me about no black-owned business and supporting black. Because motherfucker, y'all full of shit. Nobody's supporting Killer Mike and what he's trying to do. Y'all clowning the hell out of that brother.
Who's clowning Killer Mike?
Everybody's clowning him. Oh man, blah 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 blah, man.
I'm not clowning Killer Mike for his bank.
Everybody talk like all we want to do is get on this thing and beat up on black people. Then when somebody get up there and do something, nobody wants to support them.
I mean, I agree, but the thing is, y'all making it as if I'm disagreeing with everything said. I'm not disagreeing with everything. I'm just saying put things in context. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm not saying that we should be making excuses. We shouldn't. We can succeed, but you have to look behind. You can't come on here with this surface level stuff talking about black people music is independent and not understanding how we don't control what's put out there.
Look, the way other groups copy Black America, if all of you guys started listening to pro-black music, I guarantee that white people and Asians and Hispanics would start listening to pro-black music. Look at Black Lives Matter. It's mainly non-black people supporting that because they copy everything African Americans do. That's just the fact.
Black Lives Matter is
I know, but they are copying the black struggle because it's marketable. It's not as if
no, I get it, but Willie, No, but all of what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is you have to look at the person on the stage, then you have to look at the machine behind the person on the stage. You get what I mean? Now, what black people, because they don't see it, they don't understand that when I put a brand in front of you called 50 Cent, and then I have Universal pushing millions of dollars and billions of dollars in ways you don't understand in the background. So we just look at the surface because we don't understand business and marketing and large corporations. That's all I'm trying to tell you. You think Black Lives Matter is that big just because black people said so?
No.
Have you not heard of George Soros? You know what it is. You know where the marketing and the budget is coming to push that brand.
It sure the hell ain't coming from us.
And that exactly, and that's why black people get confused. Black people like you get confused because you don't understand what's going on behind the scenes, and you just look to your left and right. You say, "Man, what's wrong with these people?" But you don't see the what is going on behind the scenes. That's why I called in to tell you.
Well,
behind the scenes, the whole thing is this. Like I said, the only thing that's going to free black people is some sort of bloody upheaval. And I'm sorry to say that because the bottom line, I don't think that either, because black people get too comfortable in mediocrity and also that nobody wants to come. Every time we try to do something collective, it gets hijacked. Black Lives Matter started up as a black organic organization. It got co-opted, taken over, hijacked, just like the civil rights movement, right? Do you understand that? Everything we do, the rap music started. Who the heck is?
See, well, the reason why that happens is because
white people come in, and the thing, and this is another thing. This is what I want to say before. The burden of integration and kumbaya, love everybody, and let's all get together, and color blindness is all on black people. You guys, the immigrants, come over here with your culture. You keep that shit. The Jews, everybody stick to themselves, and it's all fine. We're not allowed to do that.
Listen, when you don't have a community and you're not working together,
you know what they call us? Black supremacists, black racists. Because I've been there. I've done that.
Listen, the reason why everything Black America does gets taken over.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. I gotta hide who the hell I am and whatnot, who I am. In my business world that I work in, I can't tell I'm a college genesis. I'm black people and that. I would lose everything I got. You know what I'm saying? If I come out too hard. That's the reality I gotta live in. I'm not like the Jew or the Nigerian who could just talk about his heritage and people accept it. People don't want to see the black man in America rise because our rise means their fall. So that's what we're dealing with. So these nice little, let's call get together and everything. No, our unity means war. And they know that.
So I guess the solution is building outside of America.
Yeah, you can do that, and don't apologize for it. And then do it. Say don't talk about it, do it.
No, it can be done, bro. It can be done. I mean,
collective inside of America without a war. It's not going to happen.
Listen, the reason why other groups are able to take over things like Black Lives Matter is because
hey, you gotta let them talk.
Black Americans.
Hear about other groups.
Listen, if you don't have a community and you're not unified and you're not working together,
golly, man, we sounded like Cynthia G on it. They got more control on Cynthia G's page. I mean, go ahead, Willie.
Yeah, when you don't have any unity or any cohesion within your group, other people will co-opt your stuff. That's part of the point I'm making. You cannot have anything to yourself. You cannot control anything unless you work with your people and have a community. That's the first step in everything.
All right, Willie, I agree with everything you just said. Just want to put that on the record.
Yeah, all of us agree on a lot of stuff. I don't know when Kala became so victim-minded.
My point is that this is what I'm saying. Everyone says what black America don't have. America only gave us one option. This is what they gave us after when they decided to integrate us, right? They said you have an option to become an American, right? And all this black power stuff, also that wasn't part of the plan. You have an option to become an American, integrate. They say integrate, spend millions of dollars integrating us, educate us. We salute the flag, everything. You could become an American. That's what they said. This idea of you trying to build a large group like African Americans, trying to build their own internal economy inside of America and everything, and be your own nation inside of this country, that's not going to happen. Everything you do, white people, like I say, this was another thing when we saw somebody was talking about NWA, right? Do you know the reason why NWA was able to be successful? Their target audience was white middle America. When I lived in New York, the top rappers at the time, LL Cool J, everything like that, was just in the New York area. It was all black people. Somebody said it was okay to sell hip hop to white people, and you probably, Willie, and like one of the other Luke Major probably think it's okay for white people. I was always like, I don't think white people should listen to our music. I'm still like that.
They've been listening to us since jazz.
No.
Yeah,
When I was
exactly.
coming up, bro, white boy, like I'm older than you, Mufasa. When I was a teenager, white boys listened to heavy metal. We listened to hip hop, and that's how we had it. Somebody had a grand idea to give our music to them, and they took control over it. That's
No,
why
but they got metal. They're always delayed. They got metal. They got rock from us.
The bottom line is, when I was growing up, white boys, you play your music too loud, white boys would jump you. They didn't want to hear that nigga music. That's
No, I
what
got it. No, I feel what I'm
Now-
saying
now-
is
now
it's
they-
been the same.
please
We
get
started, then they copy it later.
I agree with Mufasa on
like I
that.
said earlier, man, they listen to the
Literally, most of white American culture was copied from black people. That's all they do.
Things from white people, you know what I'm saying? It's American stuff like that.
That's true.
A lot of our
That's
dances
true.
and jigs and the stuff. Mine came from Irish and Scottish and everything. We borrowed a lot of stuff from them. It was a mix. You know, so the bottom line is this, man. The bottom line is this. Remember Lauryn Hill? Listen, has an elephant in the room. This is what I'm gonna tell you how bullshit black men are, right? Nobody came to Lauryn Hill's defense when she said, I don't care about white people listening to my music. That was a turning point, because that was Lauryn Hill saying, look, man, my music is supposed to be for my people and everything. And some people say, well, what about white people? I don't care about white people listening to my music. But get this, Toby Keith don't have to say that, because he like, well, what about black people? I don't give a fuck about black people. They don't do that because we don't buy country music in that large number. Our music is always marketed to them, so they own it. Whitney Houston, when she was going through that with Bobby Brown, people were worried that she might lose her white audience, you know, selling big records all over the world. So don't give me this crap, man. We're in a fucked up situation.
We got to take accountability for that one, though, Kala.
What?
As far when Lauryn Hill said that, and a bunch of people said they didn't ride with her because they wanted to get money from white people.
And that's
we got to take accountability for that
right now. So I don't want to hear this crap about now hindsight, what we should have done, we should do this and whatnot, man. It's easy to talk about that after the fact. You know what I'm saying? When the time comes, when you put to the test, that's when you show up. You know, we haven't put to the test. We didn't get the whole community abandoned Lauryn Hill. Oh, Master gonna whip us and whatnot. You know.
Well, they just trying to get the money. White people holding all the money.
They hold all the damn money. As long as they hold all the money, they got us.
Well, they don't have to have us. That's our mentality.
And there's gonna be no unity as long as they hold the money and the power over our heads. What part of that don't anybody understand? And that's why I say it's time to break this slave mentality. You know, the slave mentality, it's going to take some balls.
Well, I mean, let me tell you something. It's going to be very hard for African Americans to succeed in Africa until you develop some of these things that I'm talking about. You got to drop the victimhood mentality, the making excuses, and what the Chinese and Indians and people that do.
I'm tired of hearing about the Chinese and Indians.
Well, listen, they have certain businesses already in their country, and they simply bring those over to Africa.
We don't have a country, bro.
Exactly.
Where's my country? Where's my country that I can go to? You guys are Nigerian. You guys can say that. You know, you ain't linking with us over here.
Well, I don't know. You have to.
Enemy line. Do you understand that? We're behind enemy lines.
There was a time when Black America had insurance companies, banks.
That was before they decided to integrate us, bro. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but you can still do it.
You're not going to integrate. You're going to live on the fringes of our society or nothing, or we'll kill you.
You really think they would kill you?
Yes. Yes.
Oh God.
We're gonna close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Colin, man, come on, man.
No, well, I'm not saying literally, but if you try,
like I said, Colin, I cannot look my son in the eye and say, "Son, I can't do nothing because of."
Let me say this.
Shoot, man, son, I can't
do everything you want as an individual, as group. Get your group together, and we can build. Everybody's building, you know. But when you talk about you waiting for the masses of black people to get their stuff together for you could provide for your son, That's not going to happen.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just.
No,
I'm
that's
just,
what I'm saying.
like I said, I'm done with the victimhood. I'm done
I'm
with.
done with the victimhood too. That's why I said
I'm done with all of it. Like
I'm
I'm
saying
moving
the
forward.
black people who are winning, like myself and everything. Hey, we're doing good. All the people that's going to win, the people that can't make it, whatever like that, all we can do is try to do the best we can to provide for them, But in other, what I'm trying to tell guys like Willie, right? He thinks that black people, because they're not successful, right? There's something bad, right? There's just as many black people who got millions of dollars who ain't no good for us either. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We always want to beat up on the people who ain't doing nothing. That's not good. You got people. Let me give you an example. What if Diddy, what if Dr. Dre, all them people put money in black banks? Now, overnight, that would be a change. What if Barack Obama, they said Barack Obama is going to be the first billionaire ex-president. Where's his money being held at? Why is everything put on the average black person, but no one holds these same people who tell us to go to the polls accountable for anything?
We got to start producing our own Dr. Dre's, not Universal and all these other white corporations. We got to produce them ourselves.
Until we have the money to pay them. Right?
Yeah, we have to produce it.
Look, maybe, I don't know. Like I said, maybe we might have to just basically look at the African music industry. Maybe just basically get rid of American music altogether and just focus on artists from the continent.
Yeah, I mean, as far as black music is concerned, I think Africa is the way forward. I mean,
I might agree with that. I listen to a lot of African artists and whatnot. And bottom line is, I could watch African music and Caribbean music all day and all that. I don't listen to any stuff on the radio here.
It's a breath of fresh air. I mean, they're
because
not about
we
killing
got
people
African
and
artists,
drugs.
right? They're singing about stuff that we used to sing about a couple of decades ago. Fun stuff.
Well, they got it. It lacks a little bit of depth, but we need to go in that direction. We can't be.
But I'm saying they're not singing about killing somebody.
Yeah, that shit gotta go, bro. That shit is unacceptable.
Why is that? Why is African music not?
Well, because you can't do that shit. They won't allow that shit in Africa. To keep it real, you go over there, you start doing too much, they're gonna shut you down.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm talking about. But in America, if people don't realize, geez, why is Africa? They're not talking about murder, rape, and everything like that, right? But in America, it is. And you don't see there's a difference between African youth and American youth, and who's green lighting all this garbage that's on mainstream radio every day and podcasts and there. Who's green lighting? Who's making the money off this stuff? It's not happening. If it was so profitable and everything, you would have the same thing in Africa. So it's not us as a race. It's America. It's America. It's America wants the worst things going into our kids' mind, and we have to identify that.
It's not just that. Part of it is just, I mean, the same problem is there in Jamaica. I think it has something to do with the slavery and
what you're doing, bro,
something happened.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to defend America. That's what you're trying to do. You're defending America.
Look, I'm going to leave. I'm going to Rwanda.
Hold up. But you don't believe in Black America. You believe in white America. You're trying to defend America. That's what you're doing.
I'm not trying to defend America. I'm going to leave next year. I'm done with this.
Well, like I said, when you go to Nigeria, you go back there. Oh, Black America's this great country. Wow. Man,
well, I mean, America is a great country for certain things. For making money, it's a great country. For healthcare and for education, yeah, there's plenty of good stuff here. But I feel that as a Black person, you really cannot reach your full potential while being dragged down by a group of.
That changes everything what you just said at the beginning. You was telling us at the beginning that there's basically is Black.
No, you didn't let me finish. No, you can't reach your full potential because you're being dragged down by a group of people that is just.
So you're saying that you can't reach your full potential, not because of white racism, right?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I don't believe that
because of Black people in America fucking up is the reason why you can't reach your full potential.
No.
So you're blaming, you're putting all your failures on.
I'm not talking about financial failure. I'm talking about self-actualization, feeling, having dignity as a person. It doesn't make sense to be an individual among groups. You're just alone wandering around while everyone else is in strife. That's not a good existence.
Have you ever heard the term rugged individualism?
Yeah,
You ever heard that term?
that's not how America works.
Hold up. A rugged individual, 19th century manifest destiny of America. Black people caught up in that too. Your mom,
Black
dad,
people
your
are the
family,
only
whatever,
ones who are operating as
each
individuals.
family was like their own little domain. Rugged
Every other culture in America is in groups. They're tribal.
What group? Give me an example.
Indians are tribal, Chinese are tribal, Mexicans are extremely tribal.
Let me tell you about the Indians. Right? When you talk about Indians, right? Do you know when they own a hotel, gas station, everything? Do you know 10 years of that time when they're in that gas station, you brag how successful are? They're sleeping in that gas station. They're sleeping in that storage unit. They're sleeping in that hotel. They got a grandma, everything like that. It's not all better, rosy, and their daughter's already married off by the time they're 13 and everything, and they hate it. You know, they're not really a happy people.
I'm aware of that, but the thing
why
is
it you keep? Yo, bro, you're exhausting. You know,
bro. The average Indian income in the United States is $110,000 a year. They're the richest group in this country.
I know a lot of Indians that are rich, a lot of Indians that are poor.
Listen, deal with statistics, man. Like, what is wrong with you?
You got statistics.
Deal with the data. We can't just keep talking about anecdotes.
So
what the data says is that what they're doing is working.
If you really believe that about America, what's the point of being a Pan-Africanist? It's about Africa. America's so great.
Go and listen to Lou Major's show about self-actualization. That sums up exactly the reasons why I'm leaving this country. It's being a good player on a losing team
that don't mean I'm gonna put on a cape and jump out my back window, right? Yes, actualization. People go around thinking themselves as this, whatnot, you know. I see this fine-ass chick, whatnot. I think I should have that, you know.
Look, as far as I'm concerned,
when I go up to it, whatnot, the reality sets in. You live in a self-actualization. Everybody have a self-actualization. Everybody does it. You can have a bum on the street. It's a Rufus. Rufus, a cleaning guy, right?
Look, I don't want to be
every day you give Rufus $1. One day, you know what's gonna happen? Rufus gonna knock you upside the head and say, "I don't want your goddamn dollar." You know?
Look, I'm not sure what point you're trying to make. What point are you trying to make?
You know what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make is this, though. Stop with the bullshit about self-actual, all this stuff like that. You know, reality is this: there are winners and there are losers. You strive hard, you win. If you don't, you're gonna lose.
Look, I already have money. I can listen, man. Like that, I can afford to live in Africa. America is a great place to make money and become financially stable. That's what America is for.
Yeah, but America
as far as enjoying a
do you pay your taxes, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, you sure you pay your taxes? Well,
why are you asking me that?
Oh no, I'm saying people say, "Oh, America's the place to make money." Do you pay bills? Do you live with somebody?
Of course I do. What are you talking about?
Hold on. This is what gets me. Most people are like a paycheck away from getting. I always see people. America's a great place to make money and whatnot. You know. What do you
listen,
have, like,
man. Listen.
You drive Uber or some shit. You know.
Listen,
you know,
if I wanted to,
around, man, people, it's just real out here, man.
Hey, for some reason, everyone in my family became very wealthy within 10 years of moving here. So
everybody's wealthy. 10 years of moving here. Okay.
Hey, it is what it is. Most Nigerians who move here make it and become very successful.
You live in a mansion.
Yeah. I'm not lying. We do.
Oh, So how many people actually live in your house?
No, I'm talking about back in Nigeria. You mean here?
Oh, of course. Let me tell you something about this is Nigeria. No, Dinus is my Niger brother and whatnot. It's easy to build a mansion in Africa because one, you don't got no grid, no infrastructure. You know, people got these.
The house I'm talking about costs more than $1 million, so you can miss me with that.
And whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we have a big mansion in Africa and whatnot. You know, when I go there, you'll see that mansion I'm gonna build over there, bro. It's gonna be like it's gonna blow the bomber's mansion away. You know. You know, I got people
look, man.
All the time, man. You're about mansion,
Look, what are we even talking about?
Yo, Willie, man, you're full of shit, bro. Come on, bro.
No, Callie, you're full of shit. You might as well be on your Yvette Carnell show because that's what you sound like. You sound like.
Anyway, Dice, I gotta go. I got my show starting in a little while, man. Hey, let me put a shout out to my show. If you guys want to continue this on my show, is Dice, put the link in the chat room. Hold on, let me put it. I'll put the link.
You sound like a Biden voter. Just full of victimhood.
No. I'm far from a Biden voter.
Bro. Well, you sound like one.
You know, I'm just like, my whole thing is I don't like people. I have a low threshold for bullshit. That's how I am.
Well, you're full of it, so
for bullshit. People talk bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I'll come at you, you know? If you talk real, like you're real, if you were reasonable, you say, you know something, I don't know much about Black America. They should do better and everything, but I'm going to leave it to the experts, Dinus, Colin, and everything. I really don't know the brothers over here. And leave it at that. Like me, sometimes people correct me about Nigerians, right? I don't know everything. I haven't been there. I don't know a lot. But even if I go to people, you know, I don't know everything.
Bro, you know what? Let me just give it to you real. You're a 60-year-old man who has never even been to Africa.
I'm only 52 years old.
You have never. I've been to Africa 5 times. I'm 27. You're a bum.
I'm 52 years old.
Okay, and you have not. I doubt that you've even left your
What
state. I've been to Africa 5 times. That's why people like me make it.
But if America's so bad, then why do you keep coming back here?
Like I said, America is a good place to make money.
Oh, hold on. First of all, when you say America's a good place to make money, do you know there's Black people out here who actually live in America? There's Black people in the military, the police, and when they gave their life for this country, and when all you want to talk about a good place to make money, there's actually people who still believe in this country. So you just come over here, I just want to get some money. I just want to get some money. I want some money. You have no room to talk, to judge anybody. You have no allegiance to this country.
Okay.
And that's the truth. That's why you're quiet. You just got zapped by the college Genesis, the college Thanos.
All right, y'all. I gotta go.
All right. Go ahead. Good night, Willie.
Everyone,
no hard feelings, okay?
Okay, everyone. Thank
you my dude, Willie. You my dude, bro.
Everybody, thank you so much.
All right, let me say one last thing, Dinus. Hold up. Gangsterville Radio. Hold up. I'm gonna put my link in my gangstervilleradio.com. All right, copy. All right, if anybody wants to tune into my show tonight when I was going live in like 30 minutes, you know, bottom line is this: Colin's defeated. No, I think I won. There's a bit people. I think I won. I think I made my point tonight. You know, I think I made my point. You know, bottom line, yeah, we have problems. Oh no, here we go again. I'm about to go. I got to do a radio show, Lou. You'll say I got a show to do. You know, a show to do, a platform to do, and and here. Bottom line is this: Black America, there is no collect. We're only individuals and everything. If we were a collective like we tried to do back in the days and whatnot, there will be blood in the streets of America. Because the only thing a collective response to somebody getting shot or shooting one of our people by the police will be collective. You don't have a collective when you just talk economic everything. You respond as a group. You know, we would have went to war with the Klan, the neo-Nazis, and all these other freaking clowns that keep threatening us and everything. Like the Proud Boys, who the hell you are, we would go to war with them. There is no collective. Because they got us all broken, fighting each other at spear. We're more enemy antagonists with each other than our freaking enemy, the white man. You know, so it is what it is.
I just want to say that thank you, Kala, for actually eloquently putting that, because that's the problem. And what I was trying to actually ask here is why is when somebody says what you just said is the case, which is why don't we work as a collective? There seems to be a visceral enraged reaction and a series of reasons as to why we can't do it. So, for example, Kala, your kind of closing argument was Black America, there is no collective. It is what it is. That's literally what you just said. I just quoted you.
It is.
So
that's currently.
That's not
change tomorrow. Yo, bro, I could wake up tomorrow, Lou, and on TV and whatnot, and I see people coming down talking about Black Power, Ungawa, Black Power, and also, and I'm like, yo, the day we have risen, your diets, we have what risen up, right? We rose.
But here's the deal. I'm not even proposing any type of violence here.
Well, violence is part of the game, man. Violence.
What I'm proposing, Paula, let me get this out, man. What I'm proposing is, obviously, the issue is that there is no Black collective, and that the solution to Black problems is that there is a Black collective.
Let me ask you a question, Lou. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, right?
You got to stop cutting me off, man.
When you say Black collective, right? You know, you're talking about 45 million people in this country, people that have access to the Pentagon, people got access to all these. Have you ever thought about that? You know, you ever thought, so the white people in America are going to let you have this economic social collective in the middle of their country. You really think that's going to happen?
Bro, there's a Chinatown in every major city in the
You know
United
why?
States.
Because there's a China. Chinatown is an extension of China. We are basically in captivity. Do you understand that, Lou? It's not the same thing.
You're in
We're
voluntary captivity,
Lou,
though.
we did
You
not
could
ask to
just
be
leave.
brought here. We came here in chains. We lost our
Okay, I
language,
get
land,
that. We
everything.
all get that, man.
And
Everyone
the
understands
bottom line
that.
is so stop talking about us like we're just gonna rise up
Dynasty,
and whatnot.
man.
You know, we're in
Like,
freaking
yo,
chains, bro.
Dynasty, I
And then you
understand
said,
that you're laughing at
then
the
you
brother,
said,
but just remember,
I
you
don't
being
agree
this
with
dude on
violence.
your show. I just want to point that
it's
out.
like how you gonna have anything without violence, man? Violence is part of the freaking thing, man. Like H. Rap
I'm
Brown
not,
said,
listen,
violence
I'm
is
not
part
saying
of
that
the thing.
violence.
Okay, hold on. Can I give you a disclaimer? YouTube police, I'm not advocating for violence. Like, where's this coming from?
I don't know where it's coming from neither, man. I'm simply saying to you that there's clear, huge amounts of value to Black people economically and socially. And I'm simply saying that right now, Black people are voluntarily giving that away for pennies on the dollar to other groups. That's why our
sad
okay.
situation.
I'm simply saying that the solution to Black problems is simply Black people not focusing on individual success, but focusing on collective success and
Lou, hey
prioritizing.
Lou, let me ask you a question though, right? Black people's collective success is getting to the pole. You know what I'm saying? You understand the mindset of Black America. You don't understand.
Bro.
You like Lou, with all due respect, you like to come from outer space, man. Do you understand what planet is? Everybody, Black person, is thinking about bum rushing the pole to get rid of the orange man.
Okay, but bro, you're not really offering any solutions, bro.
I'm saying,
like,
yo, bro, I'm just telling you like it is, man. You know,
okay, great. Okay, so by the way, you have to, if you've noticed, Kala, I have yet to disagree with you on the problem, right?
Yeah,
We all acknowledge the
problem, man.
Okay, but you're wanting to focus on the problem. I'm saying, yeah, we see the problem. The problem is that we don't operate as a collective.
Let me ask you a question, Lou. Lou, let me ask you a question, right? You know, one thing I know about other people, right, and I've noticed it, right? Other people love themselves. Italians, you can't take the Italian American, whatever. Greeks, they love themselves, you know. Other people love them. Chinese, they love themselves. They like that. You have Black people, like 50% of Black people want nothing to do with Africa or their roots. About 50%, you know.
Why do you think that is, Kala?
Here. Another one's basically like, don't talk to me. I know the other one was just born in diehard Democrats and everything. There's not any. Bottom line, until we change, and all the scholars, everything we have on the street corner haven't made a damn bit of difference, right? Black people are going to go for the polls in record numbers and vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's the reality, you know. I don't know what to do about Black people. All I can say is all of us who believe in unity, let's us get together and do something. That's what these platforms are for. Dynasty and I, everybody like that. We support each other with our dollars and everything like that, you know. That's what we do. Lou wants this mass movement among the mass of Black people. Start with Search for Uhuru, right? Start with these platforms, getting together, network with people, the BAIO, and all these other groups that we have, and network with each other and do it. That's all you can do, Lou. Forget about the masses of Black people. It's not going to happen, bro. You know, get together with the people who believe in this, what we're talking about, this liberation, the Black liberation. You can't say,
Kala, you haven't been talking about Black liberation, bro. You have spent a lot of time talking about Black.
Like I said, you know, I know what it's going to take with Black liberation. If you think they're going to basically have this infrastructure in America, and you're just going to interfere with them on the African continent, which they got their plans in Africa. We have our plans, right? And guess what? You know what's going to happen eventually? Bloodshed. It's going down. The war of Armageddon is coming, bro.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, Kala. If there is an upcoming war, we certainly don't necessarily need people.
Well, the bottom line is we lose. We'll go down with a fight. That's what it happens. That's what happens.
Kala, every single solution that I have presented, you have spent more time telling me why the solution cannot work or will not work.
You keep telling me the same
and then when I provide you a proof that it would work,
you know, you keep talking about this vague. You talk about the vague and abstract. You haven't given me specifics. You talk about vague
I
abstraction.
did give you
We need
specifics.
black unity. Well, who the fuck don't want black unity?
Okay, bro. Okay, Dinus, did I not give specifics? Was I
What
not
specifics?
specific
I
to
haven't
that?
heard
Yeah,
one.
we're talking in circles now, man. I'm about to go.
Well, we'll just come back. I know I can't be on Saturday night. I got to go to a party Saturday night. I'd love to continue with this, Lou, another night. You know what I'm saying? Maybe next Tuesday.
Okay. Tuesday. All right, everybody.
All
We're
right,
out.
you game?
Yeah, whatever, brother. No problem,
yeah,
man.
okay, we'll discuss this next Tuesday. But I gotta go. I got a show starting in a couple of minutes.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, Lou, Diane, man, it's been a pleasure.